Okay, hey, Alita Army. Welcome to the Alita live stream of August the 13th, 2021. How would Alita do against a Jedi or a Sith? I am your host, the Muskogee Creek. I'm from Denver, Colorado in the U.S., and we just had Maxtac Jurai show up. He's from Sydney in New South Wales, Australia. How's it going, Maxie?
Oh, it's going barely a week, mate.
Yeah, I hear you. So, and we just had Mike Reyes join us. He's from CinemaBlend. How's it going, Mike? It's good to have you back on board.
Oh, it's good to be back on board. I mean, how long has it been?
Not that long.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's only been about maybe 3 months, maybe. So, yeah, it's really good to have you on, man.
It is a pleasure, as always, especially with such a topic that, honestly, in the absence of sequel news, this is probably one of the most exciting things we could talk about in terms of Alita.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and and of course, let me mention first that that my co-host Angelus, he's been feeling kind of peaked lately. Plus, he got a new job, so he's running a little bit late. So that's cool. He'll join us here eventually. But before we do get into, how Alita would do against a Jedi or the Sith, or, what's, comparing a lightsaber to the Damascus blade and that kind of thing. Mike, tell us a little bit about CinemaBlend, what kind of things you guys got going on over there. What's, what kind of projects you guys are kind of handling right now?
Well, I know on my end, I've been handling a lot of free guy stuff because I was able to do the junket and review the film for CinemaBlend. And by the way, it's absolutely tons of fun. If you get a chance, definitely go see it.
Which film is this, Mike?
Free Guy, the one where Ryan Reynolds is an NPC in a video.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah, because you guys were real big on Godzilla versus Kong, I think, last time you were on, I think.
Yeah, that was the last big project that I tackled. And then in the next couple weeks, I know I've got stuff coming from The Protege, and Reminiscence opens next week, which there will be a lot to talk about with that one as well.
Oh, cool. Yeah, well, anyway, we wish you the best on that one, So, by the way, I meant to ask you, I think the time before, I don't know if you remember, I sent you a DM some time back about there was kind of a rumor. I know Maxie and Angelus, we've talked about this very briefly on a couple of times, but there was a report on IMDb that Alita 2 was under development. I don't know if you all ever looked into that. Usually it's just rumors when you see stuff like that. So do you know anything about that? Or?
Unfortunately, I don't know anything new on that. I think that might have been either someone had either an insider tip that might have been tipping them off, because we've seen a lot of those in the past. Yeah. Or it might have been maybe, I really don't know where that came from. Yeah. If there was something official, I think there'd be a lot more noise around it. Yeah. Especially, I would think like Variety or someone would get the inside track on that and just blast it out.
Yeah, they would. Plus, I guess we also conjectured it could have been nothing more than just a couple of guys getting together and say, hey, what do you think about that sequel? Have a quick little meeting in their office, and then that was the last of it. Could have been that.
I mean, it's a possibility. And now we've got Robert Rodriguez, if I'm not mistaken, signed a first look deal with Warner Brothers. Or let me double check this, because I
think it's HBO, isn't it? HBO.
Oh, with HBO, right? Yeah. He signed a first look deal with HBO Max, which, as if this man isn't already busy enough with two streaming platforms, because he's got, the Book of Boba Fett with Disney Plus. Yes. He's got the sequel to We Can Be Heroes with Netflix, and I'm sure he's got other projects lined up with them. And now this?
Yes. He's a busy man. Yes, he is.
Theoretically, if James Cameron does own the property, and he and Robert Rodriguez are good friends, the question could be, who gets first dibs at Alita if the landscape opens up to this prospect, as they damn well should.
Yes. Yep, I agree.
Well, what I've been hearing is that when we spoke to Come on, brain work.
Brain work now.
Yes.
Later, Caligridis.
Yeah.
Not a name that rolls off the tongue when you've just woken up, because
Yes.
it's just after 9 a.m. on Saturday morning here.
Yes.
But later, Caligridis was saying that normally what happens is the rights will be optioned until the movie is being made, and then once the movie's greenlit, the studio will buy the rights. So there will be a prepayment and then a post payment once the movie's in production. So she believed that if the normal process was followed, that 20th Century Fox would have bought the rights to Alita, and that would mean that then Disney would hold those. So she believed that it would be in Disney's ball court.
Yeah,
we had hoped before we'd heard that Disney had a right of first refusal, and then it would move on hopefully after that. But it didn't sound good when we heard that.
Yeah.
I mean, the sort of silver lining is if they're gonna if they really want to hold on to it, maybe they think it is to a certain extent worth holding on to. Yeah. I mean, I don't know what they're dragging their feet about in terms of actually actioning it, but
I think
nice
I do.
To be wanted.
I look at it as James Cameron's movie making credit card is maxed out at $1 billion.
Fair.
And the thing is that when Disney bought 20th Century Fox, they bought that that $1 billion debt that has been put into Avatar movies, and they're waiting for that to return before they're going to extend his line of credit for Alita. That's how I look at it.
I think that's a fair assessment, and I really hope it pays off, especially because by the time we get to Avatar and seeing where it really lands, we'll be at how many? Let's see. Avatar 2 comes out next December, if I remember correctly.
Yes.
So we'll be at
3 years.
Yep.
Pushing 4 years.
We'll be at 3 to 4 years after Alita. Mm-hmm. So that's not, it's not Tron Legacy's, 20 some odd years. It's not Mary Poppins 60 years waiting for a sequel.
Yeah.
And plus, a lot of this is digital, so they could. As far as Rose is concerned, they can keep Alita. Just we don't really have to worry about that. It's the rest of the cast that we have to worry about, the humans.
Well, being the super fan that I am, Rosa has said in an interview that she can keep playing Alita till she's 99, and it's all good. So,
funny she picked that number.
I wonder why.
Yeah,
it's interesting that. We've got all the proof there with de-aging technology and so forth and so on, but Alita is a special case in that you see the person's face echoed in the digital character, but it's not her face per se. And I'm sure that that final scene was put in there. A lot of people say, what the hell was with the point with that final scene? And that final scene was put in there specifically to have the motorball body ready for the next movie. That is how I perceive it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you even see that with the casting of Jai Courtney, Michelle Rodriguez, and Edward Norton. There was all this. The first movie's basically, in any good franchise, that proof of concept. But
it's a prepper.
There were so many links and anchors that were thrown in here that the groundwork is just ready.
It's basically, we know this is good enough. Just get your shit together and fund it.
Yep. There it is. Yeah, we think it's good enough, and it is.
I was saying that from the haughty position of the producers and the director. I don't feel that I have the right to do so, but yeah, I'm there.
Well, Disney had a big investors meeting yesterday, I guess, and they. There was no news of any kind of greenlit sequel for Alita. There was some chat today on Twitter about some reboot of a movie. Max, I can't remember what it was now. If you heard about it, so
was it Home Alone?
Come on, brain work.
Yeah, my brain's not working either. But anyway, I don't know.
It was another Disney reboot.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I was going to say, I know Fox had the big Home Alone reboot that was in the works. I think that was in the works before Disney bought them too, and that's coming in November for Disney Plus.
Yeah, mergers kind of destroy sequels, don't they?
Yeah, well, not just sequels. I mean, I still remember when the merger went through. I think it was on Reddit or Imager. I forget where. It was one of those forums. Someone had a whole list of projects that were still on the books through Fox when the merger went through. And there was a whole bunch of stuff that we eventually heard got shifted to other studios, like News of the World with Tom Hanks was shifted to Universal, or stuff like Mouse Guard, which was canceled entirely. And they had gotten to the point where they had so much previs done that someone leaked it. And it was PS2 graphics, but the thing is, it was concept art. It was like rough models. It wasn't supposed to be refined. But even there, it looked gorgeous. And I've seen the artwork from like the Mouse Guard comic before, and I'm still sad we're not going to see that. And then there was a whole animated film that was, I think it's called Nemu. I'm going to have to look for the name, but it was literally 75% complete. And they wouldn't finish it. And it was at Blue Sky. They just canceled it.
Yeah, mergers do that. I guess, you know. And I guess Disney, you know, that I guess their objective is when they took Fox is they didn't want the value. I wouldn't say the value, but you know, they didn't want kind of like what you would think of the appraised value, if you want to think of it, putting in home terms, to be too high, you know, because it was going to be kind of a negotiating thing for them, and you know they're going to have to put out more money or whatever, you know. So that's probably what happened there. So
Nimona was the name of the movie.
Yeah.
I get it. It's I don't fault Disney for being a business, because
absolutely,
especially when you spend that much money on something like Fox, that is a valued and hallowed name. Yes. And probably the library alone was worth a good amount of that purchase.
Yes.
But at the same time, it's still heartbreaking, and I'm sure the people that make the decisions probably feel it to a certain extent. That it's heartbreaking that you would have to see something like that go, because it doesn't look good on the balance sheets. And I do totally understand that as a professional, but also as a fan. It's just like every now and then it really does come down to something like that it's sad to see it go.
Yeah. Looks like Angelus is in the chat. Angelus, you coming on? So anyway,
I'm chatting on like in text on 3 different things, and he's there, and he's saying that he's still not well. He's had bronchitis, and he doesn't want to cough up the stream. So
he's been struggling the last 2 weeks. Plus, he got that new job, so that was
he's not upset that it's not COVID though.
Yes, he's definitely happy.
You prefer bronchitis?
Yeah, he was.
Bronchitis at this point a blessing.
Oh look, Delta's kicking our ass down here in Australia. It got out. There was a limo driver that was driving airline people around, like airline crews, and he didn't have a mask on, and Delta will just fuck you up if that's the case. And he got it, and it got out, and we've been in lockdown this is our 7th week now. So I mean, I need a haircut like really badly. Can't even get a haircut. I was like, shit, maybe I'll just try and cut it in the mirror, and it'll be a mess.
Buy yourself a Flowbee.
What the hell's a Flowbee?
Yeah, you hook it up to your vacuum cleaner, and it cuts your hair. And you know, the first 2 I know because I have one. But the first couple of times you do it, you really butcher yourself up real good. So okay, well anyway, just wanted to briefly chat about that, because we're all sitting on just everybody in the elite army is about to explode. They were all hoping for something, from the Disney investor meeting, and of course we got nothing. And I wasn't expecting anything anyway, because Disney sends out stuff sometimes, to investors, and I have stock in Disney, and I didn't see anything. So, that's just the way it goes, I guess.
It's not going to be announced by Disney. Disney would not put their foot in it and do that. If Disney greenlight it, it's going to be announced by Rodriguez and Cameron, or maybe Cameron's mouthpiece, John. They're going to be the ones that announce it. Yeah, John Landau.
Well, 20th Century Studios could do it, I guess. Although I don't think they have as they say down south, they don't have a dog in that fight. But I've always said 20th Century Studios could do it, because some years ago, Disney had, a subsidy company called Touchstone Pictures, and they did a lot of movies that Disney didn't want to touch them because they was afraid it hurt the brand, so, and you can't blame them for that too, What's that there, Mike?
It was made specifically for that, just like Hollywood Pictures. You had Touchstone and Hollywood that tackled the more kind of more adult stuff. Like Hollywood was definitely more adult, and Touchstone was kind of like the middle ground eventually.
Yes.
But yeah, I miss those days, because there was just such a diversified portfolio. Disney, the studio that technically brought you Arachnophobia.
Yeah.
Yeah. Scared the hell out of me as a kid, and I loved it.
Yeah. Oh, I love that movie.
Oh, I'll tell you.
Any movie that can throw a shiver down my spine has done its job.
Yeah. I can remember now, Mike, you and I, we talked about this on the last stream you was on, about how old I am. But anyway, I remember a movie many years ago that I bet neither of you even know. It was Darby O'Gill and the Little People. I don't know if you ever saw that, but there was this
Irish patriot, Sean Connery.
Yeah. Okay, Mike does know. Well, I forget, Mike, you're a professional. You should know this. But anyway, when I was a kid, I saw that movie, and that Banshee scared the shit out of me.
It's amazing how much Disney has always danced on the line of family entertainment and scaring the hell out of kids. Yeah. Everybody acts like it's this new and exciting prospect. It's like, even back in the classic animation days, you watch Fantasia, you watch Black Cauldron, you watch all this stuff, and they knew how to sort of walk that line. And that's another thing that I kind of missed, because you don't see Disney do that as often.
Yeah. Oh, Fantasia was great. I've seen that several times. But
I love those movies.
Yeah, that was a good movie. But I remember seeing Darby O'Gill and the Little People some years later when I was an adult, and I saw that Banshee, and I went, "What the hell?" That scared me, seriously. But I guess when you're a little kid, it's kind of your imagination gets you, I guess. So
you want to know where I land on the whole Disney knows how to do dark, or did know how to do dark? The Black Hole.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That was dark. Come on, seriously. The guy takes the whole crew and turns them into mindless robots, and he turns his best mate into a hunter-killer cyborg.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I mean, really, come on, that's fucking dark.
Hey,
especially in the early 80s. The early 80s Disney was the Disney that was like really trying new things, and that's where Tron came from, and Black Hole and Black Cauldron.
Yeah. Yep. Well, we're all confident. I know Maxie and I are confident. Eventually we'll get that sequel.
We have to. We have to. It's too good to pass up. I mean, I think that James Cameron's a smart enough boy to have seen the writing on the wall, and he's a long-term thinker. He may be prepared to wait Disney out. There's got to be some stipulation if Disney doesn't get onto it in a certain amount of time. I mean, even if it's the is it 30 or 50 years now in the US? There was a big thing about movies being made that was shit just to keep the rights to IPs. Yeah. And I can't remember. So I listen to a lot of podcasts and YouTube YouTube movie pundits and stuff. And there's this big thing going on a couple of years ago where big names like Terminator was reverting back, and there was a couple of others, Star Trek and a few other things. And it's why things start coming back again. Because if they don't, then IPs revert back to the original writers and they can take it wherever they want. So there's a lot more going on behind the scenes than just, is it time to make a new movie? Is this thing going to make money? A lot of times they'll throw things out just to hold on to the IP.
Yeah, that's exactly why we saw those last couple Terminator movies.
Yeah. Well, I saw a piece today that, that I guess it was Marvel or excuse me, one of them was that they paid their writers like $5,000 for Endgame. And I'm going, what? $5,000 to be a writer on Endgame? That's outrageous. They should get more than that, I think. But anyway.
Yeah, that's the comic writers. Not that to clarify, that's not the writers of the films. That's the writers of the comics.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And that's something that I've also heard talked about with novelization writers, because Alan Dean Foster, who's like a legend in novelizing and a legend in the Star Wars canon, was also talking about how he feels that he has not been paid correctly writing those books in the universes for Disney. And apparently, like, IP work for novelists it sounds like high risk, low reward, because there was also a Twitter thread from Delilah S. Dawson, who wrote the Captain Phasma book. She's written a couple other books for Disney properties, and she basically laid out what happens when an author gets an offer to do an IP novel and just the different restrictions and expectations that come with that.
And the pay.
Yes, well, like I said, restrictions and expectations. That's something else. It wasn't, she wasn't, burning them or anything. She was just really laying out the matter of fact, here's what this really is.
Yeah. Well, we'll get it. I just hope the Creaky isn't 90 years old when it comes out.
Children, Alita has finally returned.
That's right. Yeah. Be in the old folks home or something, I guess. But, who knows, So anyway.
Alita's opening at the cinema. I need to get my teeth in.
Almighty, I just hope I don't sound like that. So anyway.
Listen, shut up.
So anyway, let's get on to the main topic here, I guess.
Get my hover chair.
Yeah. No, I'm going to be a competitive power lifter when I'm 90. So you guys buckle up. You're going to be hearing a lot about that.
Happy to, man.
Yeah.
More than excited.
Yeah.
You'll outlive me. I can guarantee you that.
I don't know about that, Maxie. But anyway, here we go.
So I'm sure if there was a copyright budget, this is where we would throw in some sort of remix of the Star Wars and Alita fanfares.
Yes, exactly. We would do that.
Oh, damn, I should have got onto that.
But on this stream, I don't know. So anyway, before we get into how Alita, how she stacks up against, the Jedi, and what if she took on a Sith Lord or somebody like that, or just a follower of the Sith, we want to talk about, the Damascus blade and how it compares to the lightsaber. They're similar in some ways. I don't think we've heard exactly what that lightsaber is, what the energy coming out of it. I mean, when Star Wars came out in 1977, it was, they really didn't say much about it. Except
they called it a laser sword.
A laser sword, that's right. But that was about it, And then, of course, when you see a laser sword per se, and then you see them banging against each other like real swords, you go, "What the hell?" That can't.
They say that light is an energy wave and a particle all at once. So if there was some way they could manipulate the particle side of it to be more physical.
Yeah,
I mean, getting it to stop where you want and not just continue off until it dissipates is the tricky part.
Yeah. So anyway, there have been folks I've seen on YouTube where they've actually put together what they call a lightsaber. You know, they have these big, kind of energy packs on their back, and stuff like that. And it does look reasonably like a lightsaber, but it's plasma,
To be fair, they called it a proto-saber because
that's right.
There is actually canon in Star Wars Legends of the proto-saber, which was before they managed to miniaturize the power pack down to a size that could be held in the handle of the sword. They did actually have them cabled to a belt pack, which was, not very big, but it was still much, much smaller than what they were doing with that plasma sword that they were making.
Yeah, before we keep going, I just love Cinesanity here. He says, Mike, there's a little rumor going around the Elite Army that the Creek is really immortal, So he says if we get a sequel greenlit, then Creaky's going to be rejuvenated and he'll last yet another 30 years. Yeah, that would work. That would work for me. So anyway, yeah.
My hopes are that after Avatar brings in about $4.5 billion, they'll double greenlight 2 and 3 for Alita, and we'll get them back to back within a year of each other. That's what.
We need. Yeah, the Elite Army. We're going to. Dizzy B. Oh, Dizzy, you rascal. I was not 50 years old when Star Wars 1 came out. Yeah, Dizzy.
That was a while back.
Yeah, it was. No, I was not 50 years old. No. But anyway, I guess before we kind of get into any more, Mike, you wrote an article on this about, the lightsaber and there was, I saw a tweet, I read your article obviously, but, where, I guess, gosh, my brain's not working now. So,
brain work.
Work, brain. Come on, work, where Mark Hamill, there you go. Brain worked. Mark Hamill said he hadn't seen it yet, in that one tweet, but I think your article kind of explains a little bit, and if you could go into a little bit of this too, how Alita, and the lightsaber is comparable to Alita and the Damascus blade is comparable to the lightsaber being wielded by a Jedi. So can you go in a little more detail on that one? So,
yeah, of course I can. So basically,
looks like your brain's not working either.
Brain work. So the basic concept that I went into this whole part of the battle with was lightsabers are these blades that are made of pure energy, whereas the Damascus blade itself is a blade that's made out of, the special, I'm blanking on the name at the time, the special metal that basically could cut a teardrop at a really dramatic moment in a finale.
Yes.
So on that level, I don't think the Damascus blade would hold up.
Yeah.
But since Alita is able to wield the Damascus blade with sort of a plasma energy charge to it, and since she has the Berserker body, which has this insane power supply, that I'm sure if we broke it down into some sort of equation, we'd be able to speak more freely as to how well it would hold up against the lightsaber. I think it would equal, if not, I think it would equal the power of a lightsaber, because her plasma energy through that blade looks roughly equivalent to that of a lightsaber blade.
Yeah. Yeah, and I guess that her energy source, being that micro reactor, antimatter micro reactor, that thing, if you remember in the movie, Ito said that thing would power Iron City for years. That's a lot of power right there.
Yeah. And plus, if you take into account her emotional state, she may be able to fluctuate that power with some sort, if she gets angrier or more intense, she might be able to flare that up more, and it might be enough to overpower a lightsaber.
Well, if let's say a Jedi and Alita fought, that because I don't think they would really fight each other. They would fight each other if they didn't know each other, because they might perceive the other one as an enemy or an adversary until they found out, that, oh no, this person is basically got good intent or something like this,
Yeah.
But
Or some dick writer would have to write it so that there's misunderstanding to start with, because
exactly.
It wouldn't be enough drama otherwise. It's like, oh, you're right. A Jedi. Oh, yeah, you're a Panzerkunst martial artist. Yeah. Well, okay. Yeah, let's work together. Sure. Okay. Boring.
plus, Jedi masters do have some limited telepathic ability, and I know they have telekinetic ability, which we'll talk about that a little bit later. If Alita was to kind of take on one, that'd be something she'd have to contend with. But another thing I'd like to mention too is that, you know, Alita, if you've I think, Mike, we discussed before that, you know, maybe, you know, if you haven't read the manga, you wouldn't know this, but, you know, Alita doesn't really need that Damascus blade to kind of activate her plasma weapon. I mean, she can emit plasma around her fist, you know. So if she was to, you know, let's say her and a Jedi got in a fight, and the Jedi lightsaber, say, cut the Damascus blade in half, okay, which it probably would do, you know, because of because it's pure energy, and of course the Damascus blade is matter, okay. Well, she would not be without any kind of weapon. I mean, she would still have a very formidable weapon, because, you know, she could envelop her fist with that plasma, and if she was to punch anything with her fist with plasma, it's game over. Because, you know, plasma can be millions of degrees, you know. Probably not on her fist. I think Maxie and I, and on another stream and some others, we talked about this, but it would certainly be hot enough to mess with a human. That's for sure. You know.
And then she could always use one arm to block and then one arm to attack.
Yeah, exactly. So, and she can emit plasma from either hand too, is for that matter, you know, but, or she could use, we've also talked about this, you know, we also conjectured that the Damascus blade itself has some kind of emitters in it that it can emit plasma, and she can control it, you know, with the Damascus blade. But either way, you know, she has at her disposal, blade or not, that plasma weapon, you know. Whereas a Jedi, if she was to somehow disarm a Jedi, you know, from the lightsaber, you know, kind of like she disarmed, you know, Zapan in the bar fight, you know, she kind of spun him around and, you know, knocked that Damascus blade away from him. The Jedi, they're going to be without a weapon, you know. Now, of course, a Jedi master still got telekinetic ability and stuff like this, but they don't have that weapon, and she still has a weapon. So, you know, it'd be kind of an interesting kind of, you know, kind of an adversarial type thing, you know, if they were to fight like that, you know, in the beginning. So, you know, she just had to make sure that lightsaber doesn't cut her Damascus blade in half, I would say. And the Jedi, they would have to make sure that they keep their hands on that lightsaber, you know, because, you know, she could do something like, you know, she could cut their arm off, you know. And then, of course, they'd have to use their telekinetic ability to get it back with their other hand, you know. So, but you see the problem, you know, you see how it could go either way, you know, in a lot of ways, you know, because we've talked about also, you know, if Alita was to fight Thanos, you know, and if Alita was in her Imaginos body, she's going to kill Thanos within just 10 seconds because she's pretty potent in that Imaginos body. In her Berserker body, it's different. You know, and of course, the Imaginos body, which is what I would love to see in a sequel. We're going to get to that in a little bit, but not a sequel. No, Gary wants 4 movies. That's what he wants.
Is that all?
Yeah, 4 movies and a series, and, you know, stuff like this. Anime. I want to see all that good stuff. But anyway, you know, she is. You know, we've also talked on streams that she's really not a superhero, but she does have abilities that are superhero level in that Berserker body. And if she has that Imaginos body, particularly that one we're going to see later, she is going to have abilities that are going to rival Thanos and Darkseid. You know, I mean, it's pretty amazing. So, but anyway, I guess, Mike, your final, and I'm Gary V's rambling here, sorry about that. But your final conclusion was that even though the lightsaber itself is probably, as a weapon itself, inherently is probably going to be more powerful than the Damascus blade, but the Damascus blade itself, you know, if it's used and Alita knows how to fight with it, the Jedi's fighting with theirs, they could be a pretty evenly matched thing with either of their weapons. What are we looking at here, Mike? Looks like that plasma is coming out of her fingers in an Imaginos body.
Oh yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
You've not seen that one?
No, I've never seen this one.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah.
There is something new under the sun.
Well,
yeah, there is
an advantage, especially if those are. Yeah, that's almost like she has a handful of lightsabers. So forget about just. So you basically got 2 hands full of lightsabers. Block, and you could do so much with that. Like, still block with the one, attack with the other, and like get a nice like death fist in there.
Yeah,
it's a little Wolverine-ish, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Kinda, yeah.
Well, she's also in some ways like Thor because, you know, Maxie was talking about her emotional state, or was that you, Mike? I can't remember. About her emotional state being able to ramp up her power.
Yeah.
She can call down lightning like Thor can. So, I mean, in her Imaginos body, you know, so this is why, you know, this is why we always tell the Elite Army we want them to read the manga because it's, you know, it adds quite a bit of depth to Alita as a character. So,
well, I'd also like to read the original, like, full draft that they put, like the 600 pages that, I think it was 600 pages or not. I forget how many hundred pages that.
It's like 38 volumes. Yeah, something like that.
I just typed in Alita Plasma.
Yeah, on Google. Yeah. Yeah, she would be, well, we're going to get to this, but in her Imaginos body, she's a force to be reckoned with, Jack. she's not the Alita that's in the movie. She's a little different, you know.
And that's what he thinks about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's a freaky son of a bitch.
Yeah.
The place only a mother could love, and even she would have problems.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he experimented on her too. I mean, if he's going to experiment on his son, I'm sure that his mother didn't do too well either.
Yeah, Angelus has a good point. You know, just Cameron's notes alone. This is not the manga. His notes is 1,000 pages.
Yeah, if you think that Creaky can ramble, I'm sure that those 1,000 notes have got some ramble in them too.
Yeah, Creaky can definitely ramble about Alita. There's no doubt about that. So anyway, that's the 2 weapons, I guess. That's the you know, kind of how they stack up against each other. It's, I guess, really, Micah, you might agree with me. It's really not fair to say one weapon is better than the other. They're just different, right? I mean, it depends on who's wielding it, I guess.
Yeah, especially because, again, we don't really know the power output of either. Like, I mean, we don't have the numbers to theorize it. I wonder if anyone's really broken it down, but it doesn't feel like we have enough information to really give one over the other.
Yeah.
It's methodology and it's skill level that are really going to determine a victor.
Yeah. Well, I did a video on Alita about her speed, strength, and power, and I did calculate, you know, how strong she is, how fast she is, you know, what kind of power she has, that kind of stuff like that. But that's in her berserker body, you know. But it has nothing to do. When I say power, I don't mean like, you know, how much that plasma she can emit. It's just like when she punches something, you know, what kind of force does she deliver when she punches something, you know, something like that, you know, or when she does like an axe kick on Grishka when she took his arm off. I calculated that the force of her axe kick was 20,000 foot-pounds per square inch. So, you know, I mean, quite potent, you know. And of course, Maxie disagrees with me sometimes because he's a scientist. So anyway, you know, and you know how scientists are.
Oh, scientists!
Oh, look, if I have some sort of working theory, I'll pass it along. But you know, this is all theory. So
yeah, it is. It's that's right.
I mean, if I feel like you're going off into the wilderness, I'll let you know where the path is. But you know, it's all.
Yeah. Yeah, even in that video, I put one video I put together about that. I was quick to point out these are all estimates based on assumptions, you know, and that's about the best you can do because you really don't have a whole lot to go on to begin with, you know. So, okay.
Well, I suspect these things are kept deliberately vague.
Yeah,
they just don't want us to have our nerd fights because if someone won, then you know. One franchise might find itself favored over the other very quickly.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly right. And
well,
they don't want that.
Well, we know that there are a lot more Star Wars fans in the world than there are Alita fans.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean they can't be both.
Exactly. They don't have to be mutually exclusive.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
I'm a Star Wars
I like Star Wars. I like Alita.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I like the DC, too. And I like Star Trek. I was a Star Trek fan. I was in that fandom for a while. So.
I'm a fan of well-told stories.
Absolutely.
That's where I sit.
There you go.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I never liked that feud. I mean, when you're a kid, you might buy into it a little bit. It's like, oh, Star Wars is better. But then eventually you get to be an adult. It's like, well, you know what? There's something in both of these. And I'm just going to give my money to both.
Yep.
Well, you know, back in the 80s, you heard a lot of, you'd hear this, Star Wars or Star Trek, you know? And I'd always say, I like them both. You know, why does it have to be either one? I like both of them, you know? So, but anyway, we got some more comments here. I'll try to put them up as I'm going through this. I'm not going to spend a lot of time here because we've had versions of this slide on probably 10 different streams, but, you know, basically, Alita, she is, you know, we've had a discussion about this too. Her abilities are superhuman, you know, I mean, in terms of strength, particularly, well, in her berserker body, very strong, certainly, you know, able to curl 800 pounds, able to bench press 3,200 pounds, able to squat 2,500 pounds, you know, stuff like that. But her Imaginos body, it's like a quantum leap, you know, level of magnitude stronger than a berserker body. She's very durable, of course, because she can self-heal. You know, she has that subconscious ability to self-heal. We saw that when Gerwishka, you know, kind of punctured her with that grind cutter, and then within about 5 to 10 seconds, she was back to normal. So that's pretty amazing right there. In her berserker body, she can run near the speed of light. So, and now we've discussed that too a little bit. Some folks say that's not canon, you know. Okay, I get it. You know, Koshiro did write this in one of those side stories in the manga, you know. So anyway, but be that as it may, you know, she's a lot faster in her Imaginos body than she is in her berserker body, and she's pretty fast in her berserker body. Great reflexes and stamina, and even though she's a teenager, you know, probably. When she gets that berserker body, she's probably late teens. I'm sorry, she's probably, you know, I guess my feeling was in the doll body, she was anywhere from 14 to, you know, maybe 15. But when she got that berserker body, you know, she, you know, kind of was 17. But by the time she got in with that death scene of Hugo, I think she was in her early 20s in terms of maturity level, you know. And of course, she can self-modify. You know, that kind of stuff, particularly with that healing factor. You know, she can grow new limbs in her either berserker body or her Imaginos body. If she gets her arm cut off, she can grow a new arm. I mean, that's, you know, that's not apparent in the movie, you know, but in the manga, you know, especially in the Mars Chronicle, there was a scene where I can't remember if it was Karula or if it was that princess of Mars, I can't remember now who it was, asked her, you know, about her arm being cut off. And she said, well, my regenerative power is a little bit low right now. It's going to take me a couple of days to grow my arm back. Something like this, you know. So anyway, but she does have this, she's kind of in that regard like a lizard, I guess. You know, she can grow her arm back. Definitely got that plasma weapon, knows Panzerkunst for sure, which is a kind of a cyborg martial art. And then definitely, man, when she gets focused on something, it's going to be achieve the objective no matter what, you know. So that's kind of Alita in a nutshell, I think. Mike, you or Maxie got anything to add to that? Or?
No, I mean, that perseverance and determination is, I think that is one of the keys that will help her, especially You see, that's why I agree with you in that in the sense that I don't know if she would exactly fight a Jedi, but definitely against a Sith. And that perseverance and determination is going to come into account when you go into the cunning ruthlessness of a Sith and their fighting style. So it's always kind of like that. It's always a sort of good guy advantage, so to speak, where it's like, you know what, I'm going to fight as much as I can. And, you know, with hope and determination, that's how you can overcome a very cocky foe.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Cocky, cunning, just devious, you know, whatever you want to call them. Yeah. And we saw that in the movie, didn't we? When she was cut to shreds, you know, in that second fight with Garishka, you know, we've talked in the past that, you know, most humans would just curl up into a fetal position. They'd say, well, this is the end of my life. Not her, Jack. She's sprung into action.
How do you curl into a fetal position when you haven't got legs?
Well, that's true.
Very carefully.
That's right. But in her case, though, boy, she sprung into action and rammed her hand in his eye. I mean, I've said this on several streams before. That's when I fell in love with this character. On the very first time I saw this movie, and I saw her do that. I mean, gosh, man, I was going, oh my God.
Fuck your mercy.
Yeah. Fuck your
Forget
mercy.
your mercy.
Yeah.
Is that how it plays on FX?
Yeah. Forget your mercy.
Oh,
fair.
no.
Fair. They can't drop it on FX. You know,
I guess
it's one word, and you know, if it inspires kids to go watch it again later and in an unedited form, then it works.
Yeah, and we didn't talk about that too, Max. Did they put clothes on her in those couple of those scenes where she's not wearing clothes? Or did they do that?
I'm not aware of that, but you know, that's a mechanical body. That's not bare flesh. So
I don't think I
don't get away with that.
Yeah.
I mean, you're talking about her original doll's body, correct?
Yeah. Well, not just the doll body. When she first got that berserker body, you know, and she's kind of going into that one finger stand, you know, she didn't have any clothes on there either. You know, I was just wondering if their sensibilities were so that, we can't show a nude woman on the screen.
Look, I'm sure that if they didn't put any extra clothing on Scarlett Johansson's character in Ghost in the Shell, this is fine, because it's not showing it's not anatomically correct, and it's not it doesn't look like a realistic naked body. It's almost like, I think it's kind of like the rules for Blood, where it's like, you look at the trailer for Resident Evil, the 2002 movie, the blood is blue in the trailer so they wouldn't get slapped with a red band, because that's another thing where it's like, as long as the blood is not colored correctly, you can show a whole bunch of blood if you want.
Yeah, we just had Dizzy come on. It's not Phil McCracken, he's Dizzy.
What's going on?
I was hoping you'd tell us, Diz.
Just chilling, mate. I had to scoff me breakfast to get here.
He heard the mic was on and he had to get his ass into gear.
Yeah, that's right.
Almost got a speeding ticket.
And Mike Dizzy's from Tasmania. So.
Yep, he's kangaroo. Broke the speed limit.
That's right. So anyway, but welcome aboard, Diz. Anyway, that's Alita in a nutshell right there. We don't need to spend much more time on that. Now, I just want to kind of go over a little bit about her bodies. We talked about this before. And of course, in the upper left corner, you see that's from the manga, but there's her movie bodies right there. And of course, we recognize that one in the middle as the berserker body. And then the Maxi, that's his favorite body on the right. That'd be in the motorball body. You know, he's often called that the Ferrari of cyborg bodies. Ooh. So anyway, that's now I don't think that, correct me if I'm wrong, Maxi, but I don't think that cyborg body, I mean that that motorball body has the power that the berserker body has. I mean, it doesn't have the combat ability, I don't think. Could be, though. I don't know. We didn't see enough of it.
See, we haven't seen there's so little detail in that last scene. We don't know any background. We know from the manga that she couldn't stand to be in the berserker body because it reminded her too much of Hugo, and it was the body that she'd loved him in, and she had to separate herself from it. So there was a psychological element of changing bodies, getting away from what had happened in the manga. Obviously, they've followed through with her changing bodies. It was suggested in an early version of the script that it was the Berserker body with armor plates over the top, but like, why? The thing can regenerate anyway. But from the lines in the locker room before the tryout, basically that was giving hints at why she would change the body. It's because that if it gets absolutely trashed, and it could, if there was if you know, other people using weapons with plasma on it or something like that, they could possibly damage it beyond repair, and that could be one of the reasons that she's not in the Berserker body anymore, and that's to keep it from getting permanently damaged. The other thing is that motorball bodies are generally designed so that the arms and legs can be quick swapped. So if you damage an arm or a leg, you can quickly replace it with a new one from stocks and get back out there and keep going. So there's a lot of possible reasons why she changed bodies, but I'm of the mind that it isn't quite as powerful as the Berserker body, and it may have been that they said, well, we'll let you play motorball, but you can't do it in that body. That body's way OP, and you just trash everybody. You've got to come back down to a more terrestrial level of power to be considered to be able to fairly, in inverted commas, because we all know what happened during the tryout, but fairly trying to think of the right word, but my brain's just going, nope, you can't have it.
Cinesanity has a great question. Would those nanobots, would they repair, a body if it was,
compete?
Well, no. What I mean is, though, is if she fought a Sith Lord, and a Sith Lord, stabbed her with a lightsaber, with the nanobots, say she was in a Berserker body, would the nanobots be able to repair her body? My sense is yes.
That would depend on their rate of refresh, because if those nanobots can rebuild as quickly as like a lightsaber tears into someone, or even better, deflect it, it might just cancel it out altogether.
Yeah, it may be, because I
if
know
you got Darth Maul's dual lightsaber, mate. That thing's coming in twice as quick, mate. There's no time for recovery there.
Yeah, but I mean, if he stabbed her and pulled it out, then as long as he didn't, whoever was, as long as they didn't try to cut her in half or something like that, but they just stabbed her and pulled the lightsaber out, I think it would repair, just like it would when Grishka, punctured her with the grind cutter.
It's a case of puncture wounds kill flesh. It doesn't kill Alita. You go for the limbing. You'd be cutting bits off.
Yeah. Okay, so anyway, this is these are her Imaginos bodies, and this is the body right here that can, particularly that one on the far right, the Imaginos 2.1 body. Well, the Imaginos 2.0 body is pretty powerful, but the one on the right, that's Creaky's favorite body. I like that cat tail. They call her Cat Lita, in that one, and that's Creaky's favorite version of Alita, because I love that tail, just something about the tail that gets me, But anyway, in any of these three bodies right here, particularly that 2.1 and 2.0 body, she is like Thanos level badass. She definitely is. And there's in the manga, just so Mike, get Mike, kind of get him to what's going on in the manga. There is that she fights in this competition called the Zot, or Zenith of All Things, and Zot, Zenith of All Things tournament. So and she fights an opponent there that's like a giant, kind of like robot type thing. Is that he knows he's the founder, or at least he's a very I guess I don't know what you call it. You wouldn't be a founder.
He was the current at the time, the current leader of the space karate forces. And
he himself was like Thanos, and she fights him, and basically, well, I'm not going to give it away, but there's some twists and turns in there, but she ends up beating him, and in the Zot, and of course, the Space Angels they win the Zot tournament and all that, and Alita's on the Space Angels. So anyway, it's a team sport, kind of like football, but anyway,
more tails.
Yeah, any one of these three bodies, according to that ancillary story that's in, I believe it's that second volume, isn't it, Maxie, of the book set, where she can move near the speed of light. I mean, it's, I think if she was moving near the speed of light, I think even a Jedi Master would have a hard time with her, because you can't see her, for one thing, it'd be difficult to control something you can't see, now. But yeah, this is Alita in her most powerful form. Now she has other bodies than this, and one of the there's a couple of bodies you see in the upper left corner there. One of them is what's called the civilian body, and that's just a regular cyborg body. She actually starts playing music in the Kansas bar and stuff like that. It's just a regular body. And that body, you see her leaping up into air like that. That's one of the Imaginos bodies right there. But there was another body she was in, most of or quite a good bit, I guess, of the manga itself, where she's in what's called the tuned body. And what the tuned body was she, I guess I would say conscripted, if you want to call it that. Not really, but into Zalom's program, to eliminate threats and stuff like this. It's about the best way I can put it. But anyway, she's pretty strong in that body too. I mean, she's probably pretty close to capable as she was in the Berserker body. So, but anyway, she's had numerous bodies, and we counted, I think in our, we had that little trivia contest last Saturday where we, kind of counted up how many bodies she's been in, and that's 10. She's been in 10 different bodies, including a human body. I mean, she ends up getting a human body at one point, and then, of course, I don't want to go any further because I'm going to mess it up for you, Mike. But anyway, I don't want to do a spoiler. But anyway, she's in a lot of these different bodies. So Creek's going to shut up now and let somebody else talk. Any thoughts? Any of the three of you?
Well, you sort of moved on from the whole lightsaber versus
well, we're getting there.
Plasma encased Damascus blade. Yeah. But it would all depend, when those two blades came together, would all depend on whether the plasma surfacing the Damascus blade had some sort of ability to deflect a lightsaber. Lightsabers tend to go through anything.
Yes.
But when you say anything, it would all depend on the charge and I would say sort of like an energy direction, as in whether or not the two blades would pass through each other or be deflected from each other. Obviously, you see lightsabers hitting each other and sparking and flaring, but not passing through each other as you would expect light to do. Yeah. So there is a physical manifestation within the lightsaber, which then I would think would have the same effect when it hit the plasma coating the Damascus blade. Now, being that the Damascus blade can survive plasma, which is, quite surprising in and of itself. But if the Damascus blade is coated in plasma and surviving plasma, one would think that it would at least temporarily be able to survive a lightsaber. We know the lightsabers take time to cut through a massive door on a starship, because we've seen that in the prequels.
That's literally what I was just thinking of. And Jealous has an interesting point here too.
Yeah.
Never heard of Cortosis Orb before. Is that extended universe Star Wars?
Not sure. I've never seen that either. So I do know one thing about them. I've never seen that either. But I do know one thing about the lightsaber too. I've seen cases where the lightsaber against like a wall or something, like a glancing blow, where it doesn't actually cut through it. It just kind of glances off of it. Seems to me that if it wasn't a direct, perpendicular strike against the Damascus blade, and say it was just kind of both of them glanced at each other, it probably wouldn't cut through it. It'd probably just bounce off each other.
That was my feeling too. That if the blade's coated in plasma and the two of them deflect, then it wouldn't cut through it. But if they did that lock sword things, I think the Damascus blade might be in trouble.
Yeah, I think so.
Over time. So if Alita keeps on her toes and keeps the Damascus blade from locking against the lightsaber, I think that the two of them would be able to survive the contacts. Yeah. But of course, the Damascus blade, being a Jedi means that you can predict what's going to happen.
A Jedi master.
And react to it before it happens. Yeah, a Jedi
master.
I mean, Alita would cut Padawan to pieces. I mean, she wouldn't even have to look at him. Yeah. But
Anakin Skywalker did that, and he wasn't a master.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he was kind of a really good Padawan, though. He definitely was.
But if you think about it, Alita's body with a certain amount of self-repair and the fact that it's not flesh and blood, a Jedi can react, but probably not as fast as a cyborg moving, at high rate of speeds can react. So I'm thinking that if Alita got the drop on a Jedi, she'd mince the Jedi because their bodies are flesh.
Yeah.
If they're prepared for each other and they're on level footing, it would all depend on how much force use went on. I think that Alita would struggle more with a dark side user than a light side user, because the dark side user's got all this offensive use of going from the games and things like that. They've got a lot more offensive use of the force, lightning and choke and throw and all that sort of stuff. And that would, keep her at a distance kind of thing. If the Damascus blade comes into contact with the Jedi's flesh, it's going to make it's going to be the same as it comes into contact with anybody's flesh. There's not going to be much left.
Well, Avon C has a good point here, and I guess Angela's kind of followed up with that.
Oh, Beskar, yes.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes,
that's a material that seems resistant to the lightsaber.
So if you can have the Beskar that's resistant to lightsabers, so you can actually block a lightsaber with a Beskar spear. We've seen that in recent Mandalorian. So that is canon.
Yeah.
Then if the construction of the Damascus blade is of a similar sort of material, whatever that happens to be, then the Damascus blade would survive quite well if it's of a Beskar equivalent.
Yeah, that's right. If it has that same resistance or that same force resistance that, say, Beskar has, then it would be. Oh, by the way, the reason why I wanted to put these bodies in here is because Jedis themselves are inherent with certain powers and abilities. A Padawan, has a trainee has one level, a Padawan has another, a master has another. Well, those are like different levels of ability, whereas Alita has bodies in which they have different levels of abilities. So that's kind of why I got those bodies in there, because definitely the Imaginos 2.1 body is going to be formidable even for a Jedi master. If she's in her berserker body, let's say, where she can't move the speed of light, then it's going to be a little bit different, So anyway. She'd be more on the Padawan level, I think, or maybe a little better. But I don't know. We don't have any common frame of reference. So,
so I was just brought up in the chat there. The Z6 Riot control button now that resists lightsabers. What's that made of? It's got electricity and that in there.
Yeah, I don't know.
So maybe that the Damascus blade being full plasma and everything, it would just resist lightsabers like that, and that's just a button.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, you're probably right, Diz. We don't have enough to go on, I guess. But I could see where the Damascus blade might have at least some resistance, to the lightsaber.
Because those buttons use electric shocks or something to resist lightsabers. I mean, what are those shocks? Are they plasma shocks, or I don't know? I tried looking it up, but I don't have anything.
Yeah.
Is that the baton that we saw in the sequel trilogy? Fights? Yeah.
That's the one.
Mr. Traitor.
Yeah, is that what?
Traitor!
Didn't they have that in that Bad Bunch or whatever that anime was? That wasn't anime, but it was
Bad
anime. Yeah.
Probably did.
Well, anime just means animations. So.
Yeah, exactly. So I guess it was anime. So
I mean, everything's anime when you think about it the right way.
Okay, now let's get to it. Well, we see Alita there in 3 different bodies. Of course, she has others, but certainly, if she was to fight Yoda, she better be in an Imaginos body. Because, you know, Yoda, or even Mace Windu, you know, he's pretty potent, you know, himself.
Do you reckon the Jedi, right, would be able to sense if Alita had some sort of force, so they would be able to tell if she was good or bad, or just had this aura about her? And then we talked about that. They would have to sense it from her brain, you know, because certainly. But isn't there a Jedi? Isn't there a Jedi that's like a complete robot or android or whatever?
Well, I know General Grievous.
No,
I don't think so.
No, Grievous has been trained how to use a lightsaber, but he's not actually a Jedi.
No, he's not. No.
Darth Vader's probably the closest you have to, or one of the closest you have to some sort of mechanical adjacent being that can use the Force. But he has an organic component.
Yeah,
Darth Vader and Alita have a lot in common. They're both cyborgs.
Yeah. Well, Darth Vader also reminds me of the DC character Cyborg. You know, I mean, his torso is human. You know, he's lost his legs. As a matter of fact, my brother and I were joking about that yesterday. About, you know, there's a meme going around called Emperor Gumpatine. I don't know if you've seen it, where, you know, Anakin's laying there. He doesn't have any legs. He says he's on the planet. You know, he's been cut to bits. You know, in that scene, you know, when Obi-Wan kind of did him in, you know, and he says, I can't feel my legs. I can't feel my legs, you know. And then, you know, Tom Hanks's picture of Forrest Gump says, but you ain't got no legs, Anakin.
It's one of those moments where you see the punchline coming from a mile away.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Worth it.
Sorry.
Worth it.
Sorry about that.
I may not be a smart Padawan, but I know what love is.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, that's pretty good, Mike.
Life is like a box of lightsabers. You never know what color you're going to get.
Yeah. I don't know, Maxie. That didn't sound much like a Southern accent to me.
Well, I'm Australian. Give me a break.
Well, Southern Australian. Yeah, that's right. So
and that's Dizzy. He's Southern Australian.
Well, no, he's Tassie.
Yeah, that's South Australia. That's like in the South. It's like as South as you can get.
It's like freaking Florida.
Look, are either of you really Australian if you don't live next to Chris Hemsworth?
Yes. Nah. Or say Paul Hogan.
You know, there's a lot of Australia and there's only one Chris Hemsworth.
Yeah, that's
true.
Right.
And plus, I hear the area he's in is becoming more developed and touristy because of all that.
Yeah, Ash Blackman brings up a good point. This is what I was talking about Mace Windu. He's a potent Jedi, that guy. I mean,
I think they're talking Genndy Tartakovsky Clone Wars.
Yeah.
That was the one where he rode on top of one of those droid starfighters and like tore them apart.
Yeah. Oh, this guy's bad news. And they got a good guy to play him too. You know, Samuel L. Jackson. That was great.
I still want him to come back.
Gosh.
We did not see him die on screen.
No, that's right.
There's hope.
Yep.
There is.
And not to mention Darth Maul got cut in half. If we could bring Darth Maul back, I could make him in half.
Make him a cyborg.
Be out there.
Make him a cyborg.
Yeah.
I was disappointed when they got rid of Darth Maul. I mean, I liked him. I mean, granted, he's a bad guy, but, you know, hey, I like bad guys.
But some of the bad guys are the cool. Some of the villains are the coolest in the Star Wars universe.
And I hated it when they got rid of Snoke, too. I didn't like that. So, anyway, I guess that it is what it is. But, you know, I got 2 versions of Obi-Wan up there. And, of course, the one on the right, you know, he's, I guess he becomes like a Jedi Master in that when he's that age. But through a good bit of that, you know, some of those follow-on movies, you know, 4, 5, and 6, I guess, you know, he's somewhat better than a Padawan. I guess when he was with Qui-Gon Jinn, he was a Padawan. But, you know, beyond that, he becomes more of a, maybe somewhere between a master and better than a Padawan, but certainly as Obi-Wan Kenobi, Alec Guinness's Obi-Wan Kenobi, he's a master, so, if Alita fights somebody like Obi-Wan Kenobi, or say Mace Windu or Yoda, she's going to be up against it. And unless she gets a drop on him, even her Imagino spy, like like Maxie was saying, they're standing on even footing. She's going to be up against it because, all three of them have telekinetic ability, so they're, and Alita doesn't have that. So that's going to be a tough thing right there, So any other thoughts about that, you guys, about how she would fare? Now, I think Dizzy's point, and we talked about it a while ago, is fair, is, they may have a misunderstanding beginning where they perceive each other as enemies, but, that eventually they're going to come to realize, that, hey, this person's not my enemy, that kind of thing. Kind of like that DC and Marvel crossover in the 90s. I don't know if you remember that, Mike. But,
Amalgam.
Yeah, where they started fighting each other, and then Batman and Captain America kind of figure out that, hey, we're really on the same side, kind of thing. So I think that would happen here. I think they might initially fight each other, but eventually, particularly that Jedi, if it's a master, they would sense, because they do have some limited telepathic ability. They would sense that Alita is not an enemy. That she's basically good at heart. Now she has her moments, obviously, but I think they would sense, that she's not a Sith Lord or something like that, or she's not like General Grievous, let's say. They would sense that from her, I think.
True, but if they get like the slightest whiff of dark side, you saw what they did with Anakin. Like they basically sideline him because it's like, you can still be a Jedi. We just don't want to make you a master.
Yeah, that's right. Well, they had that concern about Luke too, didn't they? Because he was pretty old, I guess.
Well, yeah. Well, that's basically what hammered that home. It's like, okay, we tried to train a kid outside of the normal age parameters, and no. Yeah.
Now, Luke Skywalker, I don't have him up here, but he would be kind of like.
I'll be right back. I'm still listening to you guys. I just gotta turn off the camera for a moment.
Yeah, that's no problem. Yeah. I think Luke Skywalker, in the movies, not the Mandalorian, but in the movies, the earlier movies, would be more like Obi-Wan Kenobi was on the right side there. He's kind of really advanced. He's a good fighter. He is a Jedi, but he's not a Jedi master at that point. Now in the Mandalorian, and even in that last, in that, not the last Star Wars movie, but the one before that, he was a Jedi master in those, so he'd be more like the Obi-Wan that you see on the left there.
He used his most powerful ability in that last one. Remember where he replicated himself in front of all the AT-AT walkers?
Yes, yeah.
That is apparently his most powerful move.
Yeah, that was
pretty cool.
Yeah, it was.
What?
Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to say, when you think about it, the only real difference I see between the Jedi and Alita is the Force. Right now, if you give Alita the Force and put her on the same level when it just comes to that, I reckon she would carve it up. But if you were to take the Force away from the Jedis and then leave it on that level playing field, Alita would still carve it up. So I think the Force is the difference here. It's not the weaponry.
Yeah, I agree with you, and that's kind of why I kind of a little bit of her abilities, and I wanted to talk a little bit about Jedi's abilities too. They do have an inherent vulnerability, of course, and it's like Maxie says, they're organic, and that's gonna put them at a disadvantage even with a Force, because we've seen that Jedi's can be killed. Qui-Gon Jinn was killed. So because he was organic. Alita, has been killed several times and nearly killed several times. She still keeps coming back. So it's a little bit different with her, I think. So.
Do you reckon, like, if there was no Nova, then actually I probably can't say that because it would ruin it if people haven't read the manga. But a certain someone would come and would actually kill her?
Well, I think early on, well, like I say, I don't want to ruin it either, but I think the Alita that was in the Last Order, particularly in that last couple of volumes, I think she is self-sufficient. You know, I mean, I don't mean self-sufficient because she had to rely on the folks at Jupiter, you know, to kind of, you know, do their thing and all. I don't want to give that away either, but yeah, it's pretty hard to walk around this. But anyway, you know, but I think as herself, you know, I mean, you know, she is more self-reliant in those last couple of volumes of the Last Order than she was, let's say, in the Mars Chronicles, or even in the first couple of volumes in the original series. I don't know, just my opinion, you know.
Like Alita fails a lot, and Alita is helped a lot. Like Cruella decided not to kill her because she would have cut Alita to pieces.
Yeah.
Just because, you know, like she's a hundreds of years old vampire with you know, skills out the yin. Yes. And she would have just taken her to pieces, but she decided not to. She decided to take a fall because she saw that this woman was the one that could, you know, change things, actually bring about change, whereas her winning wouldn't necessarily do that. So, I mean, if you kind of look at it that way, Alita does have a certain high level of plot armor.
Yeah.
The way she's been written.
Well, Cruella knew that she had the Fata Morgana too, so I mean that kind of changed her mind about things, I think, too.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So anyway, I was just kind of waiting for Mike to come back so we could move on to the Sith Lords. There's Mike. Cool. Yeah, I was waiting. We were waiting on you, Mike. Not waiting. We were still talking, but I didn't want to go to the Sith Lords without you.
No problem.
Yeah.
Can't talk about Sith Lords without Mike here.
How'd you know?
It wouldn't be right.
Yeah. So anyway, So anyway, Alita there, of course, same thing. But now this is a little different here. I mean, she's up against the dark side of the Force. These people are going to try to kill her if they can, you know. And one that's not up there, of course, is General Grievous. You know, he's not up there, but I don't see him even as powerful as Count Dooku. I mean, he's got.
He was technically a Sith.
No,
he's not a Sith, but he's on that side of things, I guess you could say. You know, he's a bad guy, I guess you could say. But, but he's not. Yeah, he's not a Sith exactly. And technically, Count Dooku's really not a Sith Lord. He's kind of just one step below that because, you know, Anakin took care of him in that one movie. You know, Christopher Lee had kind of a small part in that movie, actually.
Oh, but he was so good in those movies.
Oh, yes, he was. That guy was good in a lot of movies from old times, even before the Creek was around. So anyway.
Oh, yes, those the Hammer Dracula movies.
Oh, yes. Yeah, him and
Christopher
Peter.
Lee's a war hero. Have you read his background?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Fucking boss. He's a PC. He's a fucking PC.
He taught Peter Jackson what it sounds like when you stab a man and he dies.
Yes.
Yeah. No, he can't say that because he's got a knife in his lungs.
Yeah.
And if I'm not mistaken, he was Ian Fleming's cousin.
Yeah. He's what?
Ian Fleming's cousin.
No kidding.
Yeah. I think that was why they were thinking about him in the early days of Bond, but he never I could just be muddling things, but I know I had read that he was his cousin.
Yeah. Well, I tell you, Angelus, he was disappointed he couldn't come on because since we got you on, Mike, he wanted to do a little bit of a talking about James Bond. You know, I mean, that's I watched what was it? Spectre, not Spectre. That second movie, I can't remember the name of it now. I'm sorry, Quantum of Solace. That's right. Yeah, man, I enjoyed the heck out of that movie. That's a good.
It gets too much hate. In my opinion, because I think especially when you consider the movie was filmed during a writer's strike and they couldn't go in and refine the thing the way they wanted to, I think it turned out really well, and it makes for a great continuation of Casino Royale.
Yeah. I enjoyed the heck out of it. So anyway, I'm going to go back and watch Casino Royale. And I want to watch that. What's that third movie now? Brain's not working today. Yeah. I want to watch that. It's
on Hulu and Paramount Plus.
Yes. Right. Yep. I'm going to watch them. There's no doubt about it. But anyway, here's the Sith Lords. Certainly that one in the center left there, Darth Sidious, who was Emperor Palpatine, I guess, when he was a normal person, I guess you could say.
It's Emperor Palpatine's Tinder account.
Yes.
Swipe right.
Yeah. So anyway, he's going to be a challenge, that one.
Feel the Force flow.
Yes, he is going to be a big time.
He has always been my favorite.
Yes.
Do you reckon that's in his bio? Feel the Force flow through you?
Yeah. Of course, he can control electricity like he's doing there, but I think even Alita, though, in her Imaginos body, if she gets to drop on him, he's gone. It's like we talked about in a couple of streams. We had one of our Alita Army guys on there, John Hooch, and we were talking about, when Thanos snapped his fingers, Chris Hemsworth, or Thor threw that Stormbreaker at him, hit him in the chest, and he started to, he muttered some line, I told you, or something like this. And, and then finally Thanos says you didn't go for the head, and he snaps his finger and all that. Well, the thought was on that stream that Alita wouldn't talk to him. If he had that axe, she's gonna cut his head off or his arm off, he can't,
just take his freaking arm off, man. He can't snap if he's not attached to it.
Exactly. But Alita's not gonna talk, she's gonna act. Now she did talk to Grishka, but that was because, she knew Nova was riding him, that's why she was talking to him, but otherwise she's not talking to him. She's gonna kill him first chance she gets. That's not gonna be any of this corny MCU stuff, which I love MCU movies, but too much talking, I think, in some cases. So, and then of course Darth Maul there. Darth Maul, I guess, and Darth Vader pretty similar, I guess, in power. I don't know if Darth Maul has telekinetic ability or not, but I know Darth Vader does. So. He's going to be a tough one too for Alita. Count Dooku, I think she's going to take care of him, and even in a berserker body, she's going to take care of him in less than 30 seconds. He's going to be dead. But I guess Darth Maul's going to be tougher. Darth Vader's going to be even tougher, and of course Darth Sidious is going to even be tougher. So, what are we looking here? Yeah.
You just keep making comments, and I just keep thinking of memes.
Yeah, great. Yeah, it's cool. Too much talking. Yes.
Oh man, we should have Den on here. I'm sure that he could tell us about talking during fights. Bloody hell.
Yeah. Oh, gosh. Yeah, Goku. We had him on last week, and we talked about Goku, and there's a lot of talking in that one, too. Now, I've enjoyed it. We usually I invited Den, he to come on, say 6 o'clock my time. But anyway, Dragon Ball, a lot of talking there, but I've really enjoyed that. We've got on that post stream, after stream on that one, and looked at a couple of or several different episodes. I really enjoyed the heck out of it. It's I've gained a greater appreciation for Goku and Vegeta. I actually like Vegeta now. He's a consummate bad guy, but I love him. So anyway, so I think Alita, though, there would be no misunderstanding here. Yes, this is going to be adversarial throughout the entire thing. I mean, she's it's kind of like in the novelization. She says, "Hey, there's one thing I'm better at motorball, and that's war." So she's gonna, particularly Darth Sidious, maybe even Darth Vader are going to be a challenge for her. But I guarantee you, for any of them, if she's in that Imaginos body, she is going to be a big time challenge for them. It's not going to be easy, So What's this? Yes. Yeah.
I'm sorry, I've just got too many memes that go well with this.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
It has now become the meme stream, ladies and gentlemen.
That's right. That's exactly right. Of course, the Creek keeps bringing it up and gives Maxie ideas, and then he can put these memes up. So you see that meme I put up today about Alita, Maxie?
No, where was that?
It's,
is that a tweet?
Yeah, it's a tweet. Yeah, it's Alita is a girlfriend. It's a kind of a teaser thing, So
well, how do you reckon Alita would go against Darth Sidious's Force Lightning? Remember that scene in the anime where she used a plasma to control the lightning down to zap that ninja dude?
Yes.
And she got out of the way. So
I think you're right, Diz. I think even of course, now she was in the Imaginos 1.0 body there, I think. But I think she's going to be, Darth Sidious is going to be up against it. I mean, if he tries that force lightning shit on her, it's not going to go well for him, because she can control it, so as a matter of fact, she'd probably even turn it against him.
Well, I thought the plasma would conduct, like it drew lightning in, which is how she did that in the...
Yeah.
But then she had to get out of the way real quick because, it disintegrated that other dude. But if she ain't getting out of the way in time, that same thing's going to happen to her, I reckon.
Yeah, well...
Basically, she turned herself into a lightning rod. There was already lightning, hitting the ground, and she just drew it onto the guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And plus, of course, now, once again, we could argue whether it's... whether or not this is canon, but in that Imaginos body, she can move relativistic speed. So I mean, she can move out of the way. There's no doubt about that. I think in that Imaginos body, Darth Sidious, he's going to be in over his head. I think that's
his greatest tool for would be his manipulation, though, because he could very easily start spinning the same yarn he spun on Anakin. It's like, look, I could bring Hugo back. You want Hugo back?
Yeah.
No!
Come to the dark side. We have chocolate.
Yeah. Yeah.
Chocolate with orange.
Yeah. The question would be whether she'd fall for it or not. Yeah, who knows?
Jumping into possibilities for the sequel, I could see them bringing Sharon back. She's effectively not dead.
Yeah, she's not dead.
You could very easily put those components into a cyborg body.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I'm thinking a la RoboCop 2 with the the big hulking RoboCop thing that killed itself.
Freaked me out as a kid.
Yeah.
You open the panel and it's like just the brain in the eyes.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so
Alita versus RoboCop.
Yeah, I think even in her berserker body, I think she would make mincemeat out of RoboCop. I think
that's fair.
Slow, I mean, he's
very slow, very bulky.
Yeah, he's tough. There's no doubt about that. But you got to be more than tough against that.
Well, getting back to the Motorball movie body. Do you reckon maybe that was designed for her because it might have been lighter than the other one? So when old mate in the chat there said it was to do with the F1 cars, I was thinking maybe it's because it was lighter, you know what I mean, and can get around the track quicker than maybe the other one might have been too heavy. Because even Hugo said it was too heavy.
Yeah. Well, Hugo's a wimp in my opinion. But so
can't even stay alive.
Was he stupid? I've said this a couple of times before. When you just meet a girl, particularly a pretty girl like that, you want to, well, I don't know, he wasn't trying to impress her when he was helping her up, but, say, oh, you're heavy. Okay, that's a stupid thing to say to a girl. It just is.
He was honest.
Don't get upset.
Well, he was honest, but no.
But honesty is not the best policy when it comes to women. I've known that for a long time.
Yes. Unfortunately.
You keep your opinion to yourself.
So anyway, well,
okay. I can see the look on Mike's face. Perhaps I should change that to complete candor.
Yes.
Rather than
with anybody. Well, that doesn't go with anybody. It
depends on the person.
You can have candor, but there's got to be a certain level of finesse to honesty, because you can't just flat out tell anyone. It's like, oh yeah, you're totally whatever. I don't know. I'm trying to think of an example here, but it's like, it's just you have to have a mix of honesty and candor, but also read the room. Know who you're talking to.
Yeah, I think that's correct. Creek's been married twice, so he knows that. So for sure.
Learned the hard way, mate.
Yeah, I did. So, but anyway,
go on.
That's right.
Those who do not learn from their mistakes are doomed to repeat them.
That's right. And I probably will again someday. Repeat those mistakes.
Well, can we come to your next wedding?
Folks, that ain't happening. So anyway, I guess getting back to Alita here with a creek turning red, I guess Darth Sidious would give Alita the biggest trouble, but I think she'd take him. I think in a berserker body she might be up against it with him. In her Imaginos bodies, any one of the three, she's gonna take him out. I think she's going to take Darth Vader out. Now, in her berserker body, that would be a challenge. Darth Vader would. But in her Imaginos body, she's going to take him out pretty fast, too, if she gets a drop on him. Now, both of them have telekinetic ability. So if it's kind of a standoff thing, she's going to have a problem, unless she can flip into high gear speed, but they'd be aware of her. So that would be a problem. I think Darth Maul and particularly Count Dooku, he's not really a Sith Lord. He's more of a just below that. Even in her berserker body, she's going to take either one of them easy, I think. So even though Darth Maul has that real cool dual lightsaber, which I think is the coolest thing ever, I think she would. I still think she'd take him. Now Kylo Ren, I don't have him up there. I think would be pretty. I think he'd be pretty tough. He'd be like on the level of Darth Vader, I think. So it's no way of telling, but I think I think Kylo Ren is a little more powerful than.
He's like the Hugo of the Star Wars world. That guy.
I was just about to say he might fall in love with Alita, and then that'll compromise him, and he'll be sad.
Yes,
he'll be done.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, he did fall in love with Rey, didn't he? Sort of. I guess they're related, though, aren't they? Are they cousins or something?
Okay. So if the extended canon of Star Wars holds up, which I've heard some people deny that this is open to interpretation. There was once a comic that showed the origin story of Anakin Skywalker that said Palpatine kind of nudged the universe into creating him as a virgin birth. So, if that happens to be true, Rey is a clone of Palpatine.
Yes.
Palpatine kicks into gear this virgin birth of Anakin Skywalker, who then later is the father of Luke and Leia happens to be the mother of Kylo Ren. There is a case that could be made that they are indeed related.
Yeah, I kind of felt that because you kind of got that. It's almost like they were like brother and sister, wasn't it? At the very end there, I hope everybody's seen, the last Star Wars movie. I enjoyed that movie, but in a way I was disappointed in it too, but I'm glad I saw that thing. Yeah, well, I'm glad I saw it. I've seen every single Star Wars movie plus the Mandalorian. I've really loved the Mandalorian, but
I got a quick story about that if you're interested.
Sure.
I remember going to the press screening of Rise of Skywalker, and most of us walked out and was like, "What the fuck did we just watch?"
Yeah.
So then, one of the only reasons I went and saw it more than once is because my wife didn't get to see it. Like I saw it for the 3D, which was pain. And then I don't know if that was when I took my wife to see it, but I had at least one more showing because I took her to see it. So it gets to the point where they reveal Rey's parentage and everything. And then in a mid-level voice, Not like too loud, but just loud enough. She turns to me and says, "She's a fucking Palpatine." That was worth the ticket price. That alone was worth the ticket price.
Yes.
So to see
Just
her,
to hear her say that.
just for that, and I smiled, and it was like, I married well.
Yes, you did. I love it. You know, I did kind of like that last scene where Rey, tells that the neighbors of Luke's not foster parents, but I guess it was his aunt.
His aunt and uncle, yeah.
Yeah. That asked who she was or something. She said, "I'm Rey, I'm Skywalker," In a way, that's kind of true, isn't it? Because I guess they all came out of that same stream there, I guess you would say, so I guess in a way she is like Skywalker, isn't she?
I still like Last Jedi's explanation. It's like, you were nobody, your parents traded you for like drinking money, and you and I were the cast-offs of the galaxy. Let's join. And then again, that whole Kylo Ren thing works with that because you're not related.
Yeah.
Star Wars has this weird thing about Skywalker family being like it's the Star Wars franchise almost treats the story like the Skywalker family treats its dating preferences. It doesn't let new blood in. It always just stays circulating.
Very European royalty kind of Middle Ages kind of deal.
Or very much like the southeastern U.S. where cousins marry each other. So anyway. I can say that because I'm from the southeast, as you can probably tell. As you can tell from my accent, you can tell I'm from the southeast.
Well, boy, howdy! I did not know you were from the southeast. Bless your heart, sir.
Thank you. Thank you kindly. So anyway, now another one I don't have up there is Snoke. I really liked him. I think they killed him too fast too. But anyway. I guess Snoke is not quite Darth Sidious, but he's probably a little better than Darth Vader, isn't he? In ability, I don't know. That's kind of my gut feel.
I don't. I vaguely remember his abilities because it's been a while since I watched Force Awakens. But I do remember him being somewhat powerful.
Yeah, and the only way Kylo Ren kills him is because he tricks him.
True.
Yeah, because he spun that lightsaber around and cut him in half. He caught him off guard, I guess, because I think if they were standing in front of each other to fight, Kylo Ren wouldn't have had a chance. But anyway, my opinion. But I think Alita, once again, in her imaginative body, any of the three, she's going to take him. Especially if she gets a drop on him. In her berserker body, it's going to be a lot tougher. You know, so. That's not to say the berserker body's weak. I mean, we don't know the full extent of that berserker body, at least from the movie. We do know the full extent of it from the manga. Because I know, not to spoil too much, but Zapan gets a hold of that berserker body and he turns into a monster. So anyway,
you mean robot people can be put into new robots and still be robots?
I guess. Alita told
you not telling me.
Is that the maximum number of times you can fit robot in a sentence?
How many times can you say robot in a sentence? Or
Futurama formula,
like Zalamites telling, "Oh, look, it's a robot." When Alita comes up there and said, "I'm not a robot." That was kind of a funny little scene there in the manga. So anyway, well, guys, that's kind of what I have on Alita versus the Jedi and the Sith, and how the lightsaber and the Damascus blade and Alita's plasma weapon.
Quick, do Alita versus Jar Jar.
Who? Oh,
Alita versus Jar Jar.
Darth Jar Jar.
Okay. Jar Jar, if Alita's in her doll body, she's going to kick his butt. I mean, that's pretty much easy for her.
Although, to be fair, I don't think he'd want to fight in the first place.
No,
but he'd probably bumble his way around enough that he could last half an hour.
I don't know.
Alita wouldn't know whether to kill him or pat him.
Yeah, exactly.
True. She would take compassion on him, and there really wouldn't be a fight.
Oh, Chaos has a good point. Psychometric. Chaos is a character that's in the manga. He he's kind of got like an ability like Sith Lords have. You know, when he touches an object or a person, he knows a history. You know, I mean, it's almost like a telepathic history type thing. You know, like for instance, he touched the Damascus blade and he became an expert on how to use it because all the people that had used it, all those, I guess you could call them cosmic memories, cosmic consciousness or whatever goes into the blade, and he immediately learns it. Now he's a master at using the Damascus blade. So he's a pretty interesting character. Chaos is, you know. So that's a good point. You know, he would be. I think Chaos would be pretty tough. You know, even for a Sith Lord. You know, because he has that ability. Yes, I love that.
I thought that kind of rounded out the discussion nicely.
Oh
yes. Yes.
Now,
of course,
go on.
No, you go ahead.
No. I'll hold my thought. Go on.
No, that's right. I don't know if you could consider Yoda. He's a different species. If he's in the family or not.
I mean, for all we know, he's a Palpatine too, and we just don't know it.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know though, Mike. He is a different species.
Palpatines deep down.
Yeah. Unless they had some kind of interspecies marriage thing going on.
If he can push a virgin birth into existence just by like force powers, he could probably that's probably like a universal adapter to any species.
Yeah. Boy, that makes Palpatine
that universal
almost
adapter
like
comment sends the mind in all sorts of different directions.
That's another good point Chaos brings up. By the way, Chaos is a guy that's in the chat, but there's also a character named Chaos in the manga. So, yeah, he could be half vampire. There's no doubt about it. Karula is one of my favorites in the manga too. I mean, I kind of like vampire movies. I like the Blade movies. I love those, man. I love those movies.
Blade, the first two Blade movies, especially Blade 2. I love Blade 2.
Oh yeah, Blade 2 is great. I love that one. You know, I even like Blade 3. You know, I like that. Okay, you know,
it's got its moments.
Yeah.
I'll give you that.
I think Ryan Reynolds was hilarious in that. So.
Oh yeah.
He's in the hospital. He says about Blade, you know, to Jessica. What's her name? I can't remember her last name. He doesn't like. Jessica Biel. He doesn't like me, does he? She says no. I love that scene. So, yeah, the story of how one family can screw up the galaxy continuously.
Yep.
But hey, it can always change.
Yes.
They should have just sent them away, you know, like, go away, bastards.
They tried. Look at what happened to Rey.
Yeah.
It didn't work.
Yeah. Plus, that damn Empire conquered the galaxy. So there you go. Yeah, how are you going to get away from them?
I want to know where the Last Order got all their shit from. I mean,
well, I think that was all just inherited from Imperial leftovers. Like that's what the extended universe canon is going into now.
Yeah. But I mean, they must have had some sort of smartass who was like designing shit for them, because it had all design upgrades and stuff, and they keep building big ships. Like even America and Japan worked out that battleships had gone by the end of World War II, but you know, the Empire is just like, we'll build a bigger one. Build a bigger one.
Hey, those dreadnoughts held up pretty well.
Hey, you know the Missouri was
till you fly something through it at warp speed.
Yeah, the USS Missouri, you know, is a battleship. They used that in the Gulf War, you know, back in the 90s.
Yeah,
which is amazing. Now they use it to, you know, shell the beach, you know, but other than that, I mean, they didn't use it to fight other ships. You know, battleships wouldn't last a second hardly against modern aircraft carriers, you know. So anyway, another story. Don't get into that.
That's when we go into Alita versus Top Gun.
Yes, a crossover. Yeah.
Oh God.
Oh, I did that one video.
Now we're stretching.
That one video where Alita flew an X-wing.
Oh yeah.
Oh boy.
You would fit in perfectly in the Star Wars galaxy.
Yeah, exactly. I love it. Yeah.
That was up so quick I didn't get a chance to read it.
Put it back up, Diz. Dizzy, you there? There it is. Yeah.
Sorry.
Right. Okay. Now I follow. And only because I've read like the first 2 chapters of the original Game of Thrones book, and then I got bored and stopped.
Boy, somebody's a serious Star Wars thing going there. Is that just the stuff you're looking at, Maxie?
The Star Wars movies are the Skywalker family dumping new drama on the galaxy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
no, that was me trying to find this meme. I was hunting for the meme, and I couldn't find it.
Which meme is this?
Oh, the one that I had up before. The epic story about how one family's drama continues to screw up an entire galaxy.
Yeah.
Did you see that they actually put out it's like an official Skywalker family biography? Like they wrote it as if it's an actual biography on a real, like an in-universe book.
Really?
Yeah, in fact.
You mean like the biography of JFK or something?
Yeah, no, it's like this. I'm looking it up right now.
Okay. Yeah, well, share your screen. We can.
It's this Star Wars Skywalker, a family at war.
Okay. You want to share your screen, or you? There's a little button down the bottom here. You click share, and
share screen.
A couple of windows pop up. You can go to the second tab to the right, I think, in that little window. And you'll see the.
Creaky's tech support.
Yeah. Hey, I used to be an IT guy years ago.
The Skywalker family has everything: passion.
Yes.
I feel like this has to be read like Stefan from SNL. The Skywalker story has everything: passion, intrigue, heroism, and dark deeds. But yeah, it's basically a biography on the family's, quirks. We'll call them quirks.
Yes.
I want to say genocidal tendencies, but we'll go with quirks.
Well, with Darth Vader, it'd definitely be genocidal tendencies.
Oh, yeah. He doesn't like kids.
When cyborgs go bad.
Yes.
The history of Darth Vader.
Yeah, didn't we have a thing on that Dizzy stream several months ago where cyborgs gone wild or something?
Yeah. Isn't there like an episode of Stormtroopers? They did that with the Bad Boys.
The Bad Bunch, you mean?
No. There's an actual YouTube video of the Stormtroopers out in the desert, and they're pulling over cars, and like the 90s show Cops.
Oh, yeah. Troops.
Yeah.
That was like one of the first fan Star Wars films.
Oh yeah, back in the noughties, like way at the beginning.
Oh yeah, or Internet 1.0.
Explain a plot badly. Yeah, schizophrenic teen begins understanding robots. I love it. Oh yeah, that's good. This turned into a meme stream.
Okay,
it's still fun.
Yeah.
I'll stop there.
No, it's all right, man. Hey, we're not organized on this stream, Maxie. This is not like Radio Chaos.
And you think that's organized, do you?
Oh, yeah, it is organized compared to this stream. So, oops, got the wrong one there. Just as I clicked the button, Angelus has popped up. So, yeah, Qui-Gon Jinn, I think they got rid of him too fast, too. Of course, I think his contract was just for one movie. So, he's not going to be in any sequels. So, I guess they said, well, okay, we'll kill him off.
Well, they did try to get him for Attack of the Clones, but I think that was when Liam Neeson had his big motorcycle accident. And he couldn't take part. Like, I forget what I thought he shattered his pelvis, but I know it was a pretty bad motorcycle accident.
Wow.
And I think they wanted to at least be a Force ghost.
He rides motorcycles. That guy's as old as I am.
Are you going to tell Liam Neeson he can't ride a motorcycle?
No.
Exactly. Is a motorcycle going to tell Liam Neeson he can't ride a motorcycle?
No, you're not going to tell Liam Neeson not to ride it, because he will find you and he will kill you.
He has a particular set of skills.
That's right. Yeah. So anyway, guys, there's Alita versus the Sith.
I have a particular set of skills.
And Alita and the Jedi, Disney had a good point about Alita. If she had the Force, she would be.
Oh, particular set of skills have I?
Yeah.
Yes.
Don't tell your joke, Maxie.
I'm after you, I will. Yes.
Oh, here we go. Here's another meme.
Life changes you, man.
Yeah, it does.
Not that much.
They did a great job
blue
on him in the Mandalorian, and they didn't use the same technology they used on Rosa Salazar either.
Who used that deep fake dude, was it? Or
yeah, it was.
I
think
that
it
guy
was
for the other ones as well.
Well, I think it was the deep fake that they were using for, Mark Hamill in the Mandalorian. Whereas Rosa, she had that motion capture stuff on, in front of her face.
There's a bit of a difference in quality there, though, mate.
Yeah, there was. Yeah, there's no doubt about it. But
Alita doesn't look like her refresh rates are slightly out with a bit of ghosting.
Yeah.
Well, that's how you really feel.
No, it looked good.
It did look pretty good. It didn't. I agree. It didn't look as good as Alita, but nothing looks good as Alita, hardly. At least characters. But anyway, but he still. Look, I was convinced that was Luke Skywalker. A 28-year-old Luke Skywalker.
No, it was him, man. It was epic. It was like
Yeah,
one of the best Star Wars scenes ever.
Yeah.
How many years did we wait for that? 28?
Oh God Almighty! I hope we don't have to wait for that.
I still had a problem with that.
Yeah. Oh, you do have a problem with it, Mike?
I just thought, like, it just keeps going back to the Skywalkers. You had this really cool story building up, and then season finale, Luke comes in, and that's the big punchline. And it's like, really? It couldn't have been like someone new, or it could have been Mace Windu. It could have been someone else. Like, it's like, no, it has to be Luke.
If they had contacted me, I could have made it Alita.
Hey, Mike, I've got a Yoda joke for you. You ready?
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
What did Yoda say when he saw himself in 4K?
I don't know.
Oh, HDMI.
That is enough of a dad joke to work.
Oh yes,
that is peak dad joke, and I am perfectly fine with that.
Well, Maxie is a dad, so
yeah.
Some people would even call him a mother.
Yeah, that's pretty funny. Yeah, I told that to my brother. That's a joke like my brother would tell, and he appreciated it. So. Oh boy.
Yeah.
I don't know about equating Alita to Gollum there, Angelus. Come on, man.
Ooh, are you talking about computing power?
No, it just
yeah, no, I think one of Alita's eyes has got more CGI in it than all of Gollum or something.
Yep, that was right. More pixels, more polygons, sorry, more polygons.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Well, cyborgs aren't supposed to be right-handed, but maybe that was it. So,
well, for a lot of years, I thought most of the people in Battle Angel Alita were left-handed until I realized they flipped the bloody images so they could run the book left to right.
Yeah, because that's right. You read it from right to left.
Yeah, don't try and read it the normal way like I did, and then can't work out what the hell's going on.
Yeah.
Well, the original Viz translation, they didn't think that Western audiences or Western readers could deal with the right to left, so they flipped everything.
Yeah.
So all of the panels are backwards, and Alita's left-handed, and Ido's left-handed, and so many other people are left-handed because the images are reversed.
See, I didn't have that problem when I read it because
in the deluxe version they swapped it around, Maxie. They're all right-handed.
Yeah, no, they put didn't swap it around. They left it the way that Yukito Kishiro drew it, because in Japan it goes from right to left.
Yeah.
But in Western society it goes from left to right. So
yeah.
It's just like the car thing, you know. Drive on the left, drive on the right.
Yeah, you drive on the right-hand side of the road, and then you drive on the road like you do in Australia and England.
The normal way.
Did you see Chaos's comment? This is gold. It's good no one has deep fake Destiny Nova yet. That would be a nightmare.
Oh boy.
Yes. That reminds me. That reminds me, Maxie. I still got to work that Alita into that.
Yes.
Into that Picard thing. I got to work on that.
Yeah, one. That would be cool.
Yeah, I'll figure that one out.
Just take some. Get the short. Grab the short from the Star Trek short with Rosa in it.
Yeah,
Put bits of that in.
Yeah,
that'd be cool.
Yeah, I can do that. I downloaded the Star Trek short.
See if you can jiggle. You know how you do that jiggle with it going the video going back and forth. You use the jiggle function and see if you can get it to dance to the music with the triple in a hand.
Yeah, that's going to be a challenge, but I'll see.
That'll be cool.
I'll see what I can do. At least I can get her to look like, looking at him like, holy crap.
Oh, there's Jaya. G'day, Jaya. Hey, speaking of Rosa for a second, has anybody caught brand new cherry flavor yet?
No.
I know that Angelus has binged it, and you binged it, didn't you, Dizzy?
I got 4 episodes in, and I'm about to belt feed the rest of them later today. Unreal.
I've got it on my watch list. Yeah, I got it on my watch list. I haven't watched it yet, though.
Well, I've got vacation coming up this week, so I might be able to knock that out.
Nice.
It's addictive. Once you get through that first episode, it's just one of those shows you just keep going. It's then there's no effort to watch. It's unreal.
Yep, Angelus has seen all 8 episodes. He says.
Definitely gonna have to start that then.
It's got that old school feel to it about as well. I think it was like sort of early 90s feel to it, and it actually feels really cool like that.
Isn't that the time frame though?
Like Stranger Things, it gives you that.
Yeah,
that old school feel. It's weird.
Well, isn't that supposed to be in the time period of the early 90s anyway? I mean, that's what I read.
Yeah. But there's some weird shit going on in that show, man. Like, I'm still thinking about it, going, what the hell just happened? And I've seen some gory, shitty movies.
Well, I mean, your poster is your lead with an eyeball in her mouth. Things are going to tend to get a little weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, definitely have a watch. It's unreal. I'll be interested to see what you reckon, Mikey.
Well, I'll be glad to provide the feedback. I mean, it's kind of why we all love this community we're in, because it's just fun to have the discussions and come up with the ideas that maybe people should have already come up with, greenlighting a sequel.
Yeah.
Well, I think that our job as a fandom is just to keep thinking of new things like this. I really appreciate Creaky coming up with these video ideas and putting pictures of Alita to songs and stuff. Just doing stuff that's just keeps coming up in YouTube feeds and keeps people thinking about it. Because the worst thing that could happen is just for Alita to be forgotten. We don't want that.
No. We got Alita Day coming up soon, so
very true.
Another tick in the box, keeping it going, keeping the wheels turning.
Yeah, Creaky will have to come up with another video, which I can do. God, I went nuts this week. I came out with a video every day this week.
Whoa, slow down, Spielberg.
You got to ration this stuff out, man.
Yeah, I know. Well, I kind of, after when I get through with work every day, I kind of do my schedule, along with the folks in the Eastern time zone, which means I get off about 2:00. And so I just put together these videos, and a couple of nights I was up till like 11:30 or 12 working on these videos, Of course, that makes the next day kind of sleepy, but, hey, it's all for our girl. That's what it is. Well, guys, I don't have any more on Alita versus the Sith or Alita versus the Jedi. Do we have anything else you guys want to bring up, or did I miss something in the presentation, or did we miss something in the discussion?
No, it seemed pretty thorough, at least from my, guest standpoint.
Yeah.
Who trusts a guest?
Me.
Especially if it's a new guest.
Alita
versus the guest. Oh, man.
No, you're kind of like a subject matter expert, Mike. Come on. You're a movie guy, come on.
Oh, okay, in movies, yeah. In Alita, I'll admit, I still need to read the manga, which I was actually looking up at my library. I think they might have more than one version. And didn't someone say that there's a new translation out?
It's not. We've had our local vacuum hoarder of Alita things, Cranberry Jam. She's already purchased the latest release, which is a paperback version as compared to the box set of the Kodensha translation. And she says that it's the same translation, the same panels. The pages are a bit darker though because it's not the same paper.
I'm just wondering if there's like a specific version I should be looking for.
Okay, so it depends. See, the movie was created from, I'd have to say, from the Viz translation, because that's the one that was around when James Cameron started to get onto this. So the new translation lacks certain things like I do not stand by in the presence of evil. They took that out. Yeah, I know. That was the look on my face too. Now, I'm thinking that it might have something to do with the whole it's got to be 10% different rule for avoiding copyright infringement. So there certainly needs to be differences, but taking away an iconic line like that just seems a little silly to me.
You can change 10% of other things. You can't change that.
Yeah.
Even as someone who just came into Alita through the film, that moment felt like a watershed. Like that felt like the anchor. Like even just being a new person watching that, it's like, ooh, you feel the gravitas and the gravity of that moment.
Yes. That's where Creaky fell in love with Alita, boy. And when she said that, "Fuck your mercy, boy," I said, "Oh God, I wish she's a real person."
That is one of the best limited profanities in a movie. Like when you have to choose your F-bomb carefully. They chose it so carefully.
Yeah, that was Lita Calagridis' favorite line. She asked me, she says, "Gary, what's my favorite line in the movie?" What hers was. I had no problem predicting that one.
But that's not in the manga. There is no.
It's not.
The F-bomb is not in the manga, so that's something they added to it and gave it an extra kick. So that's why you can appreciate the amount of effort that went into writing and producing and all the CGI and everything. It all came together. It's just. You can't go past it. If you spend the time and get into the lore and understand the character, you just can't go past it.
That was a great adjustment. That was a super great adjustment, But Michael, a lot like you, I came into the Alita Army. I kind of came in late, and some of these guys here tease me about it a little bit, but I came in right after I saw the movie. I was on a business trip and I saw it in the hotel, and when I first saw the trailers, I wasn't impressed, but I saw it in the hotel, I went, "Oh my God, what a great movie." That was kind of my thing, and I saw it when I saw it. And then Angelus and I started reading the manga, the original series, and I got the box set. There's 2 or 3 different translations running around, but I just got the box set and it was great. And Angelus and I would trade notes and stuff like that. And we kind of followed each other along, wanted to get maybe one volume ahead or one episode ahead of the other. And we'd kind of go back and forth. And then I got the Last Order and then I read that, and now I've got the Mars Chronicle. And I think Jay and I just said that volume 7's out. And I got that last week. I haven't read it yet because I've been too busy doing videos. But anyway, it depends on how you get it and what form and all that. But what I have, it's like something like 30 volumes or something like that. I mean, it's immense, but it's worth it, man. You start reading that, you cannot put it down. I swear.
I'll be keen to see Mike's take on the motorball after the actual Joshikin and Alita duel and the motorball, that's after. Like, it's probably going to be in the sequel, but that part of the book, like, I don't read much. I don't really like reading, but I read this, and I actually went from sitting down to standing up to pacing around whilst I was reading this thing, man. It was like I was watching a bloody football match on the TV.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was like, in my mind, I was yelling, like, come on. I was like, this is the best thing I've read, man.
Toshiro is very good at drawing action. He can get that feeling of movement. The blur lines and the way he does it's just brilliant.
That's why I was saying, man, if they put that scene in there where he just uppercuts her guts and you could see his fist out the other side, I'm like, but she still comes out of it. I'm like, I got to see this in a movie, man.
Yeah.
I got to see it.
Well, Mike, you heard me say in that stream you were on before, you know, how I couldn't sleep one night and I got up and I started, it was like 1 o'clock in the morning. I started reading. I said, well, you know, maybe it'll help me put me to sleep if I start reading. And that next thing I knew, it was 5:30 in the morning. I could put the damn thing down. I had to make myself.
When a book can do that to you.
Yeah. Luckily, it was a Saturday, so I didn't have to go right to work. So, okay, guys. What's that?
I got to find this box. It looks like it. I don't know if it's out of print because it looks like it's only on sale for like secondary sellers on Amazon.
Yeah. Yeah, that's where I got mine.
Is that the deluxe box set?
Yeah.
The deluxe box set's beautiful in its execution, but it's got the less preferable translation.
Gotcha.
It's still a good read, though.
The two earlier versions of the Viz printings, so like the first printing, which I have all of now, I was missing one of them, and there was a slightly smaller second printing of the I think of the Viz version before Kodeshi took it over. Those have the better translation, but of course they don't have the better production, as it were. The book sounds nice.
I think the Viz ones are the ones I found at the library, so I think I'll just place through those. Yeah,
the deluxe box version, it is a good read though. But he's right. It's from what I've heard, it's not it's not as good. But I enjoyed it a lot. So I don't think you'd go wrong buying it, but the Viz version's probably better. So
I got the just the Kindle versions because I could not wait for any postage on everything that was sold out. As soon as I watched the movie for the 5th time, I'm like, nah, just went straight onto the Amazon, man, and got the Kindle, and I was just belt feeding those ones. Are unreal. So I don't know what version the ebooks or the Kindle ones are.
The Kindle one's probably the Kodenshia because they weren't allowed to sell new versions of the Viz one after Kodenshia took it over. It's basically they hold the rights to sell it now, so you're not allowed to sell new copies of the Viz ones. But that happened in the early noughties, so it's been like 15, 18 years since that swap over, so you won't find any new sales of the Viz version. Yeah, right. You'll have to go and hunt them down secondhand, and they're not cheap.
The good thing about some of the reading the manga there, Mike, is usually at the end of every chapter they give you an explanation on some stuff that's going on. So like, what are they called again? The trash can things with the eyes. The
Deckman.
Deckman, the Deckman.
So like they explain in there that's actually got their just brains in there. They got brains in them.
It's not a robot; it's a cyborg.
Yeah, it's an actual cyborg. Someone in there that works for the factory, and that's their job is to be a Deckman. So
there's actually an ad in there. Are you depressed? Having a bad life? Would you actually like to have meaning brought back into your life? Become a Deckman. Really? That's going to give me meaning?
Yeah.
Yes, we're going to take away all the parts of your brain that make you feel depressed. You'll feel happy all the time.
Well, in the world of Iron City, that might be true.
Yeah. Definitely worth the read, man.
Yeah, it is.
Have you read any of the original series yet, Mike?
No, not yet. I've been lax on my reading in general. I'm trying to be better because I still have Quentin Tarantino's Once Upon a Time in Hollywood novelization sitting that I started it And when I have time to read, I've been sucked into it, but I just haven't been setting enough time aside for myself to read.
But you said you're having leave soon, didn't you?
That's about Sharon Tate, isn't it? Isn't that she in the
Yeah, that's part of. Well, actually, from what I'm hearing, it's part of it in the film, but from what I'm hearing, the book kind of goes a little deeper into the whole story of the characters in general, like that. Yeah. I think they say it's a 400-page book, and by page 100, they tell you about the ending of the movie. It's like it's a totally reworked version of the movie. It's not just here's what happened. It's like it's a totally revamped version that Quentin Tarantino put out.
It's got Bruce Lee in it too, doesn't it?
Yeah, and that's been a point of controversy.
Yeah.
With his depiction versus what Bruce Lee's family would have felt. And yeah.
All right, guys. Well, I can't think of anything else. We're past 2 hours. I told Mike he could leave at 1, but I think he had so much fun he just he didn't want to go any further than that. So I don't think we need to go into these other scenes. So anyway.
One quick thing I will throw out. I think it was Angelus wanted me to comment on Rosa Salazar as a potential Bond woman.
Oh, yes.
And yes. She could probably even be a Bond villain if she wanted to.
I was about to say she'd probably be better as a villain. She has that dark kind of
look. Whatever role she wants in that universe, they should just allow that, because that would be. I would really love to see her continue sort of this action whatever career path she wants to go down. She's got the skills for action movies.
Oh yeah, she does.
For sure.
Oh yeah, she does.
I'd like to see them, subvert expectations in a good way for a change, and like have her look like a Bond bombshell, but then she turns out to be either a villain or working for the
MI6.
Working for the CIA or something like that.
Oh yeah, that's right. Well, she'd have to get that British accent down if she was going to work for MI6, wouldn't she?
Yeah, otherwise she would probably be like Halle Berry's Jinx was a CIA agent, or I keep wondering if she was CIA or NSA, but I know she was an American agent that worked with Bond.
That was the angle I was going for. Was putting her in that basket.
Yeah, she'd be great. I personally think she was, I think she was done dirty, at the Oscars. I mean, not even a mention. You can't quibble if you don't win an Oscar, but you get a mention, or you get nominated or whatever. I mean, okay, somebody else did a good job and all that, but I just think I think she was done dirty, to be honest. I just think
there's that healthy award season bias against sci-fi or even horror, like that just genre has to play a certain way to get awards attention. But I think even if you just put that aside, how did they not get a VFX nomination? How did the effects not, or sound editing?
I haven't seen 1917 yet. I've seen some clips from it.
Oh, it's amazing.
It's a really good film.
From what I have seen, though, I don't see that I haven't seen the movie. I'll be honest with you on that one. But from what I have seen and the clips I've seen, I don't see how the effects are better than Alita. Now, maybe they are. I don't know. I'm going to check it out.
I don't think they are, but that's just my personal preference. But as a movie, that movie was incredible.
I absolutely love that as an experience, and also just as a film in general. Like the preparation that they put into making it look like one continuous take is breathtaking.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Alita was just on a different scale. I don't understand how that didn't do better. I just bring it down to the fact that it just wasn't known. Like, say you got the new Star Wars ones that still made a shit ton of money, but people were saying they were shit. It's just because it was Star Wars. That's why. Whereas Alita, I reckon, was the opposite. Unreal movie, people just didn't know about it.
Yeah.
So the fifth time I came out of the cinema, I was still speechless. I just walked out with my hands in my pocket, looking at the ground, going, "Wow, that was just unreal," and I just didn't say anything, man. Your head just explodes with, you just explodes with all kinds of shit going on in your head, and you're like, that's how movies are supposed to be made, man.
Yeah.
When's the next one?
It is rare when a franchise starter like this really can suck me in. And this movie absolutely drew me into its universe. And, you know, it's the same thing I felt with Dr. Sleep. That was another movie that, even with Stephen King's name attached to it, flopped at the box office. But it's a beautiful, brilliant movie that you can't help but fall into it. Like, my eyes were glued to the screen in both cases. And it's just, I'm there. I am with you totally. I am not drawn somewhere else. I'm not thinking of something in the back of my mind.
100%.
Yeah, I think live action anime flicks, don't they? They have a little bit of a bias against them, don't they, Mike? I think that's. I think maybe the expectation was when they heard Alita Battle Angel. I know. I'll be honest. When I first see that, I mean, I knew who Alita was. I think I've told this story several times. That my second wife would go. She'd go to a quilting class or something like that, or sewing class, and there was a comic book store in the same strip mall, and I'd go in there, and I saw Alita in there. You know, and this was back in the mid 2000s somewhere. And I looked through it. I knew she was, but when I saw the trailer, I said, nah, you know, this. And my expectation was set. You see what I'm saying? I'm wondering if folks like movie critics and those folks, they hear the word live action anime adaptation or something like this, and they already have this bias, or they already have this mindset that of what it is. Yeah.
Surely you think if James Cameron was attached to it, but you would think maybe it might actually be all right.
You would think. You know?
Even Rodriguez on there, mate, you would think this would be all right.
Yeah.
Let's give it a go.
Yeah.
But I mean, I was sold on the trailer when I seen Alita smash Zapan's head into the table. I was like, I'm done.
You're in.
This is possibly the best thing I've seen, and it's just the trailer, let alone a whole movie.
The beautiful thing about that scene is that she smashes his head into the table and steps back. She's got this look on her face like, what the fuck did I just do?
Yeah.
It's combat training, like muscle memory, subconscious taking over, and she didn't even like Rose's portrayal of the character being surprised by stuff. It's just brilliant.
Unreal.
When she turns,
such a good job.
Yeah, in the alley when she turns around to face Nisiana, she had that wide-eyed, what the hell look, you know, to me. I mean, pardon the expression, wide-eyed, but anyway, she turned around. And it's like it's total, like surprise, like what?
What have I just done?
Yeah.
Oh, crap. I just beat somebody's head in. Oh dear.
Well, I heard that one of the reasons she didn't win any sort of an award or Oscar or whatever for performance is because they tend to not like it when the VFX covers the face and it alters the face, which means it's not, you know what I mean? It's not an actual performance. It's enhanced by VFX.
Yeah, that's how Andy Serkis got screwed.
Yeah. But you look at all the behind the scenes without the CGI on a face, man, that's as good as acting as you'll ever see.
Seems like to me critics need to do research.
Yeah.
It's like I've said, that the critics these days base themselves off of one word, criticism. Yeah. But a critic is the base of the word is critique, not criticism. And a critique is a leveled and unbiased review of a product or article.
Yes.
So you give the good and the bad, not just the bad. You don't just criticize. You talk about the good and the bad, and that's what they're not doing. They're just playing shill, and that's where it all falls down.
Yeah. Well, you could tell a little bit too from the Rotten Tomatoes score. The critic score. That thing was down around 32, and that thing, and now it's up to 61. What that tells me is that okay? Some of those first critics, they went into it with preconceived notions. And then as people started watching the movies and they were getting word the movies were great, other critics started looking and said, well, maybe this is not so bad. And then the score starts coming up because if you start out at 32 and you end up at 61, that means there's got to be some 90s in there, So, to balance out, to average out that 32, to me, so anyway.
I just love that review they did of it. Remember that one they just did recently that said that Rotten Tomatoes was wrong about Alita, but then when you go in and watch that thing, they just keep hacking on it.
Yeah.
You see that latest one of that?
Yeah, that was just a clickbait.
Yeah.
Well, I look at the audience score. You know, you get an audience score 85 or above, that's pretty good. You know, and Alita's at 92, so you know that tells me that the moviegoers like it, and that's got over 30-something thousand, you know, respondents. So that just tells me that, you know, that moviegoers have a different, you know, idea about it than, you know, than critics. You know that, but anyway,
I just don't understand why they're not listening to the fans. You know, like, I mean, they did it with, they didn't do it with Zack Snyder's cut to start with, and then they did it, and that I reckon that's probably one that pretty much outweighs most of the Marvel stuff that's come out. That was just unreal. It's what the fans wanted. Now I want to know, you know, Superman's going to turn evil, man, like, and then they're all going to try and fight him, and I'm like, I got to see this, but it's not going to happen, you know. And then they got like the Alita sequel. We all want to see that, like, heaps of people want to see that. Nah, let's just keep making, you know, all this other stuff that just keeps getting more, you know, turned to shit.
Rehashed.
I will continue to play devil's advocate. It is sometimes easier to do that because the metrics support it. But then again, even though the metrics support it, Suicide Squad, there was probably a good amount of metrics that supported that movie being bigger than it actually was. And part of it is, you know, we're still in the pandemic. But I guess another part of it might have been they overestimated James Gunn's audience crossing over from Guardians to Suicide Squad. And I mean, I don't know how valid that is. I've heard the criticism leveled by others, and to a certain extent I buy it. But I am kind of sad that that's the response, because I really dug that new Suicide Squad movie. That
I did too. That was it was fun. Yeah.
When you let someone have fun and you let someone just go all out with their concept, it doesn't matter how much you're spending. I mean, it matters from a business standpoint. Yeah, matters what you're spending, loss, return. If you can, but if you can balance it out in the end of the day. Yeah. On the art side, you've still got that movie. Yeah. We still have Alita.
I love that one where that one scene, and what's Idris Elba's character's name? Bloodshot or
Bloodsport?
Bloodsport. That's right. Oh, I was thinking of Will Smith. But anyway, Bloodsport. How he put Superman in the ICU with a kryptonite bullet.
Straight from the books.
Oh yeah, I love that. Yeah, that's great. You know. So
do you think like James Cameron was onto something when he said that you know, eventually we're going to get that superhero fatigue? You know, let's get out of that. I think we should get out of that and explore new things. I think
Marvel Phase 4 may bring us there.
Yeah. I'm just sick of seeing the same stuff. The first few ones were cool. It was different. Yeah. Now up to bloody movie 20 or whatever to, you know, end it. And I'm just like, yawn, whatever.
Yeah.
So, you know, I don't know, man. I just want something new, different, completely different. And I think with 20th Century getting bought up by Disney, and 20th Century was like that sort of place that they could explore different things. You know, we've got this one. Let's do it. Let's do this one, this completely different concept. And now I find myself stuck on YouTube watching that channel Dust, because it's all short sci-fi films that they make. Good. And I think that is unreal. And I'm like, these could be movies and they could be out of this world.
Yeah.
Nah, I'm just watching bloody Marvel again, made at the cinemas. She'll be right.
Well, you know, I like superhero movies, but I don't see why you can't do both. I mean, you know, why do you have to bludgeon us to death with superhero movies when you can kind of, you know, be a little more, how would you say, flexible, have a little more variety in what you see in movies? You know, it seems like everybody's concentrating on them. Although I will say that I love the Snyder Cut. That was great.
Well, that's different, but that's how DC should be. It's dark comics, man. It's dark. Yes. You know what I mean? I think they've been trying to Marvelize their shit too much, and Marvel isn't dark. Yes. Not like DC.
I think DC should continue playing to their strengths of just doing it all, because there was a time where, especially in the animated universe, DC didn't just do one sacred timeline of stuff. It was a whole bunch of people could be Superman or Batman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then again, there's always the argument of, does that confuse the audience? Because Ben Affleck's playing Batman, but also Robert Pattinson's playing Batman, but also Michael Keaton's playing Batman.
Yeah.
To which I reply, no. You can clearly see the different tones and the different characters.
I mean, I could definitely see some more. Like, my favorite Batman is Ben Affleck. I mean, sorry, Michael Keaton. I just loved his Batman. But then I feel like the best movie performance Batman was Christian Bale. But when it comes to continuing on a universe, I also really love the new one as well. Ben Affleck. I thought that was really cool, man. So
Ben Affleck was a really cool Batman.
Yeah, it was.
I mean, I understand he had to step away from some of that in the name of self-care, and like if he pushed on, it may not have been. He was not in a good place to push on with that. But if he ever wanted to come back to it, if I was a Warner Brothers exec, I would give him the blank check and say, "Go do it. Just if you feel you are in the right space to do this, go do it."
Yeah.
But I am looking forward to the Batman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's your superpower again? I'm rich.
And I like this. I'm Batman.
Yeah.
I think the I'm rich is better than I'm Batman. I mean,
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, Batman's sitting there going, "I'm Batman." It's like, duh.
Yeah, no kidding. You think? Yeah.
But I mean, that's Zack Snyder's take on Superman now, when he's going to, he's destroyed the city and turned everything evil. I mean, who in the normal world that doesn't follow DC has seen Superman do that? No one. It's different. Yeah. You know what I mean? And that's what I reckon's, it gets you hooked. It's different. It's not just, someone wearing their pants on the outside saving a cat from a tree. It's different.
I just wish Robert Pattinson would work out. I don't think he's lifting weights or doing anything to prepare. I think he's just,
Well, it is only year 2. It is only year 2 Batman.
Yeah, that's true, I guess. But yeah. For me, though, you got to lift weights. I guess that's my thing.
No, you don't. You just got to inject yourself with money, mate. That's Batman.
Yeah.
And drive.
Okay, I can do that.
Writing a thesis, lift weights.
Yeah, there you
Going
go.
on a moonshot, lift weights.
Yep. Yeah.
Getting married, lift weights.
Yeah, I don't know if that's going to help. So, all right, guys. Well, anyway, we've been on about 2.5 hours, but what I want to do is I just kind of want to do a couple of things here. I want to just let everybody know that Alita's on FX. Tomorrow she's going to be on at 3:30 Eastern. I believe that's somewhere around 7:30 EST. I'm not sure. And then I guess in Europe it's going to be somewhere around 10:30. I don't off the top of my head, don't know that. And of course, in Australia, Saturday is Sunday because they're living in the future.
Yeah, mate.
And and then do you guys get FX, Maxi or Dizzy? Do you guys?
Nah.
Okay, well then it doesn't matter.
But
we've got Alita on Disney Plus down here. So.
Oh, that's right.
All those rights issues. That's why Free Guy didn't go to Disney Plus.
Yeah.
Well, that and they wanted to keep it a theatrical experience, but apparently even if they wanted to put it on Premier Access, it's still under the old Fox deal where it's like you have to go to HBO and then HBO streaming and then probably FX later down the chain or something.
Of course, if you got that VPN, you can kind of connect to a spot there and get it, I guess.
Tried that, but then it goes, you're using a VPN. So I was like, no worries.
So you can't see it. Nah. Yeah. But anyway, Alita is on FX. And I just wanted to remind everybody the brand new cherry flavor's out. And the Creek's going to watch this for sure because the Creek really likes Rosa. I guess everybody knows that. So anyway, but that's on right now. I guess it came out today, didn't it? Although Angelus has been watching it. Yesterday for you guys because you're in the future. Yeah. But anyway, but Angelus has seen it. He says it's great. So,
it's a bit freaky. You got to get your freak on, apparently.
That's okay. I can do that. So. And I guess, Maxie, you want to talk about the Radio Chaos tomorrow?
Yes, Radio Chaos tomorrow. We're hitting chapter 4 of the original manga, which is a shame Mike hasn't read it or I'd invite him on, but he hasn't got there yet.
Keep shaming me. Keep shaming me. It's working so beautifully.
Join us, one of us, one of us.
He is one of us.
The thing about the manga is that once you start reading, it's very hard to put down. The thing just draws you in.
Yeah,
as you can ask you can ask Creek and Dizzy, who've read it more recently. They'll tell you that you start reading and you just don't want to stop. It's one of those things that you give up sleep for. So you prepare yourself. Have a big pile of them ready because you want to just keep reading. You'll kick yourself if you don't have the next one. It's like, but what happens next?
Yeah.
So, but yeah,
make sure you got enough time allocated too.
Yes, that's that too. But Kishiro draws you in. His world is so rich and full, and his telling and his drawing is so evocative that you just won't want to stop. It is really, really good stuff. And then, you turn a page and somebody's head explodes, and it's like, whoa, okay. And then you hit those high points where stuff happens, and you go, oh shit, did that just happen? You flick back a few pages, you read it again, you go, it did just happen. Holy crap! And it's that sort of evocative storytelling. So you're in for a treat.
When the penis man rocks up.
Oh God! Are you talking about Racket, or are you talking about Anomaly?
I don't know.
Yeah, that's in Last Order. Last Order goes completely out the window.
It does.
We could have a whole stream about the penises in.
Oh yeah, we could.
Nah, let's not.
Then we could be called the Radio Chaos Porn Channel. But
let's not do that.
We don't want to do that.
No.
So, and by the way, this is Creaky's placeholder thumbnail. Do we have a thumbnail yet, Maxie?
Well, normally Tony does that, but I haven't heard anything out of him, so I guess I'll have to get to
it. The Creek is going to be the stream manager, but this thumbnail works okay, I guess. So
yeah. I could probably just pull the first page from that chapter and bung it up and do something quick. I got to do the post of it tonight anyway. Yeah. But we can discuss this after the stream. We don't have to do it now.
And I guess just one more thing here. Why is this image here? Because I like it, because I'm running the stream. And just to paraphrase Gruishka, I'm only here for our girl and the Elite Army. So anyway, that's pretty much it. For the Alita live stream for today. Any last thoughts, anybody?
Oh, I did have one.
Okay.
In the absence of more Alita content, I got volume 7 of the Mars Chronicles the moment it came out on Kindle and read through that, and I love the last page of that because I'm pretty sure it's got Gelder in it. In fact, I'm sure it's got Gelder in it because I read ahead. But so you get a volume, you smash through it, and you go, I want more, but you got to wait because Kishiro's not in a hurry. So in the absence of more content like that, I've sort of been getting stuck into anime, and it just amazes me in the cyberpunk genre of anime how deep the stories are and how much detail and sort of it's really hard to quantify, but the sort of the backstory machinations going on are really satisfying. I'll give you an example. There's a show on Netflix, at least in Australia, I'm not sure about America, but it's called Ghost in the Shell Standalone Complex 2045.
Yes.
Yep.
You've watched that one, Mike?
I've seen a couple episodes of it, but I'm familiar enough to know that it is on there. Yeah.
Yeah, I have heard of it. Yeah.
So you've seen up to episode 3 or something like that, or you've watched the very beginning? Because the very beginning just is a tease. It's like,
I don't even think I watched the very beginning. I think I might have watched like an episode randomly on Cartoon Network when it was on Adult Swim.
Right. Yeah, go and watch it. I highly recommend it. The animation's a bit ordinary, but beyond that, the story is just fantastic, and it's got that really deep, like they say stuff and you go, shit, why didn't I think of that? That's really cool. And I'm, as a writer, I keep saying that regularly. but it is really good. I highly recommend it for the story, if not, the animation's a little bit 2005, but
Beast Wars.
It's no Alita, but the story is really, really good and really, really deep. And it goes, and it's the whole exploring what it means to be human and all that sort of stuff, which we've gone over recently on Radio Chaos, talking about cyberpunk. And actually last weekend we had our top 5 cyberpunk properties and comparing them to Alita, and that was a really good stream.
That was a fun stream.
So you should check that one out if you haven't seen it, if you've got the time, Mike.
And if anybody wants to get on the post-stream after party, there's the link. All you got to do is click on it. And
where the real magic happens.
Yeah. I guess you could say that, Dizzy.
but if we have any manga heads who want to talk about chapter 4, because it's quite a big chapter. It's like chapter 4 is the same length as chapters 1 to 3 in the manga. It's a really big chapter, and it basically sort of follows that arc from her, after her fight with Garushka, where she gets chopped up, and it's a little bit different from the movie in that things are in a little bit of a different order. But she starts her animosity with Zapan and starts the bar fight. But that happens after she gets chopped up. So now she's got the berserker body. So she's a bit tougher this time around.
Yeah, she is.
It's a good chapter. It's quite long, so we'll be discussing that tomorrow. If anybody's interested in coming on and having their say about that, please hit us up and let us know. You can ping any one of us, Creaky, myself, or Angelus, and we'll get you on the stream. So let us know. Yeah,
I'll send out a couple of invites to.
That'd be good.
So, Den, I think, would be a good one. So. And Jay, although I don't know how to send one to Jay. So
no, I already asked Jay in the text chat. You probably missed it, but he said he couldn't guarantee being there. He's busy.
Yeah.
It is a busy time of year.
Yeah, it is. Okay, guys. So anyway, that's pretty much it, I guess, for the Alita live stream. And we're going to finish off with our call to action. And that's the new, or the relatively new, film those sequels, baby. And on my count of 3, 1, 2, 3. Film those sequels, baby. Okay, so we'll see you tomorrow on Radio Chaos, and we'll see you next week on the Alita live stream. Good night.